What's going on, Knicks family? Just waiting for a couple more people to come in here, man, so we can chop it up on a great week of Knicks basketball. I mean, bad news with the injury with Julius, but a lot of great things. So just waiting for a couple more people to come in so we can chop it up. All right, Knicks family. Hope everybody's doing well on this Sunday, man. All right, so we can kind of get this thing rocking. All right. Waiting for a couple more people to come in. But when you do come in, please let me know that you're here, so I could definitely give you a shout out. I see people coming in and out, but if you do come in, pop in, let me know you're here, so I can, like I said, give you a shout out, uh, so I can acknowledge your presence. You know what I mean? So yeah, all right. Once again, when you guys come in, just please let me know that you're here so I can acknowledge you. All right, so we can get this thing shaking. Still waiting for a couple people to roll in. We could definitely get this thing rocking and rolling. All right, I hope everybody's well on this Sunday. Um, Big things coming, man. Big things coming. Knicks looking good, man. Knicks looking real good. So, just want to chop it up with you guys on a Sunday right before the game starts. We actually have about 4 hours before the game starts. So, definitely see exactly where we look tonight, right? How good we look. I think a couple of people are going to be down for the Wizards tonight, which should be an easy win, but you never know, especially what happened with the Timberwolves game, right? So you always got to be on point, man. Make sure that you're all locked in because it's still an NBA, right? So got to see exactly where we're at in regards to that, right? Just making sure that we stay locked in because any given day, it's like football, any given Sunday, any given day in this league, man, you could lose, right? If you're not totally committed and locked into your opponent, right? And just taking care of business. So, yeah, so that should be so we got to be locked in, even though I know a couple of people out. Once again, when you guys come in, just acknowledge yourselves so I can give you guys a big shout out. Let people know that you guys are here. Once again, I appreciate you guys coming by to chop it up, man. Like I said, a couple hours before the game starts, right? So we can kind of get a little preview and also do a recap of this week and how things went, our ups and our downs, the positives and negatives of what we felt about the week, right? I do think that there's more positives than negatives, right, that came out this week. Um, but there were some things that happened, of course. Of course, the top of the list being with Randall, um, that can be some concerns, right? Of course, the situation with Obi and RJ, some concerns, but definitely chop it up to kind of see exactly how you guys feel about that, and where do the Knicks go from here on it, right? So it's an exciting time, man. Definitely for the Knicks and New York City basketball. Even though that team across the river, they probably might make it. Don't really care too much about them, right? No one's talking about them anymore, right? It's good. It's good because they don't deserve to be in this town. They need to go back over there to as they call it, the swamp. They need to go back over there, man. You need to go back over that river. That's where they're really from, man. And like I said before, they just renting space over there in BK. You know what I mean? So, you know, yeah. But once again, when you guys come in, please acknowledge that you guys are here so I can give you guys a shout out, man. So we can definitely chop it up. See exactly, how you guys feeling about the Knicks, exactly the state of it. And, what do you think that strengths are and weaknesses are based on um, what happened Friday? Friday was a major, major win. Um, Wednesday was big also. Friday was a different type of beast because we didn't have Randall, right? So even though they didn't have Jared Allen and Isaac Okoro, Randall is most likely going to be second team All NBA, and he's an All Star, right? 2 years out of the last three, right? So 25 and 10. Book it, put it in the book. That's what he's getting this year. That's very, very, very hard to replace, right? So that's why to me, Fridays was huge, right? Um, so that's why, even though, I know Wednesday was big because of the standings, but Friday was huge just because of a statement type of deal in regards to what, where we were as a team. No one knew what we were going to be getting from everyone else. So to have Brunson explode the way he did, which we knew, right? Because Brunson's been doing that. But to have him explode the way he did offensively, everybody else feed off of that, um, is what gives me a lot of confidence going into the playoffs, right? It really truly does. Once again, when you guys come in, man, acknowledge yourselves, man, so I can give you guys a shout out. Definitely appreciate you guys coming by, man. Do a quick little live show, man. Just want to chop it up with my Knicks fans, man, and kind of see exactly how's everybody feeling right after this week. Like I said, it's been a week of highs and lows, right? It's been like a roller coaster. So I just want to see exactly what everyone's feeling. Want to hear people's perspectives on things. I have my perspectives, but I like to hear from you guys, right? So we can sit here and chop it up and really get a full understanding and see into what you guys see, because we might have difference of opinions, but at the same time, we might agree. But I love to see, man, because you guys are, you guys are the heartbeat, man. So I love to see what actually the fans are saying, what they're feeling. So that's why, I do a quick live show, man, like this before the game, because the Knicks could seal things up today. They really, really can. They could seal a deal as far as their playoff seedings go, which is something that was a possibility. We're looking into, and something to look forward to, because this could be the day, man. You know what I mean? That we lock things in as far as our playoff goals, and this is a big turn from what we saw in December, right? I'm sure everyone can agree on that. No one saw this coming at all. Um, I know for I know for me, I didn't see that at all. I didn't see that coming at all, right? You saw that, especially what happened in December, man. That was a very, very crazy time for the Knicks. I honestly thought that I thought Tibbs was going to get fired. I thought some trades were going to happen. I thought it was either going to be RJ or Julius, right? I thought those guys were going to be gone, right? I didn't think that they would be able to last, based on what was going on in December. But Tibbs literally jumping out the window and saying to himself, "Yo, man, I got to do whatever I can to keep this job, right? Because obviously this is his dream job. This is where he wanted to be, even though he's a Chicago native, and that was where he really did well there. This was always home base for him, right? Because of Van Gundy and Pat Riley, that's where he really got his footing in the league, right? Is with the Knicks. So uh, him being here with Leon is a perfect situation for him. So him doing well here is big for his career, and him taking his team far is big for his career, his legacy as a coach, right? So you know, so we got to kind of see exactly. So secure this playoff win, this playoff run, 2 out of 3 years with Tibbs. You got to kind of take your hat off to the guy. You have to. I get it. We're all not Tibbs uh, supporters. At one point, I wasn't a Tibbs supporter at all, right? So to kind of see that, you know, is a good thing to kind of see exactly how well he's doing. So once again, when everybody comes in, man, just acknowledge yourself. All right, for one point. All right. When you guys come in, please acknowledge that you're here. But what I was saying was that when the evolution of this team is just amazing, man. To kind of see exactly where they are, um, what they've had to do to kind of get to this place that they're in right now. No one saw this coming, right? We kind of knew that they would be possibly a play-in, right? But to be kind of like how can I say, like to be a fifth seed, being in one of the upper echelons of the league, right? We're there, we're right there. We have one of the better records in the league. That's just the truth. Um, it's an amazing job by Tips. You have to give it to him. But to see the guys lock in and really believe in it, right, and really play hard every night, how a guy like IQ has been able to turn around his career, right, young career at that, way Grimes has looked. Uh, it's all coaching. It's all coaching. All coaching. Once again, when you guys come in, man, just let me know exactly that you guys are here. All right. Let's see exactly what's going on. Let me get an acknowledgement from you guys. You could just say what's up, LV, or whatever. I think this thing is kind of like acting up here. But yeah, man, it's been a roller coaster of a season, but a good season at that. This is probably the most excited Knicks team I've liked in a very long time. I mean, I like the mellow teams, especially that 012, 013 team with J.R. Smith, of course, getting that six-man a year that year. Novacek, Novocaine hitting those threes, and J.R. Of course, Melo being up for the MVP during that was a great team. I like that team too. This is different. This is different, because a lot of these guys on this team we drafted, right? We drafted RJ, we drafted Obi, we drafted Grimes, we drafted IQ, right? Those are guys we drafted. We drafted Deuce, right? We drafted Big Sims, right? So all the guys that we drafted are making impacts, right? They are. So that's what's different with this team as opposed to the other teams. A lot of teams we got in trades and stuff like that. But our two top guns we got in the trade, right? We got Randall in the trade, we got Brunson in the trade, right? Free agency, excuse me. But everything else we built, right? We built from the draft. So that's why this team feels very different than the other teams. They just do, right? Because they're homegrown. They're our guys. So that's why this team is very, very special to me. Something that I'm enjoying, man. I'm having a really, really good time with this. Like I said, once again, once you guys come in, man, just give me a shout out, man. Let me know that you're here so I can kind of shout out with you guys. So yeah, so that's why this is very, very special for me in regards to that, right? Watching this team and kind of watching what they're doing. It's just great to see, man. It really, truly is, man. I mean, I can't. It's just an exciting time. It really is. And to see the evolution of players and guys. Yo, Ashley, what's going on, man? How you doing, man? I appreciate you coming through, man. Ashley, let me know, man, what you think about this week so far. Just type in what you think about this week, the highs and the lows. All right, that's really what this is. Right before the game starts, in about 4 hours, I believe. I want to hear exactly what your breakdown is and how you feel, what your perception is, right? Because it was ups and downs this week. It was great altogether, but it was ups and downs, right? So I want to see exactly how everyone feels. Once again, everybody comes in, man. I appreciate you guys rolling in, man. Let me know that you're here so I can give you guys a shout out because I appreciate all you guys' support, man. So yeah, definitely I appreciate your support because your boy made 1K, man. So I'm happy, and that's all because of you guys. So yeah, man. So I appreciate you guys coming through, chopping it up with me because you're the reason why I'm 1K right now, right? Trying to continue to work my way up, but it's all because I love doing what I'm doing, man. Talking this sports thing, right? So that's all attributed to you guys, right? So I appreciate you guys coming through. Just type in, let me know that you're here, so I could give you guys a good shout out. Because I want to show appreciation for you guys coming by, right? So, but I'm just I'm just in love with this team, man. I really am. I really love what we're building, and Tips is grown on me. I wanted him out of here, just like everyone else. I'm not gonna lie, I truly did. I think that he's past his prime, but I think putting Johnny Bryant next to him has really helped him big time. Because Johnny Bryant takes a lot of responsibilities off of Tibbs' plate. And he puts it on his plate to make it easier for Tibbs to do what Tibbs knows how to do, which is just coach games, and that's it. He don't like to do a lot of other stuff, which is needed for today's player. different. Okay, Ashley. Okay, it was all great to me. Even Randall's injury is a blessing in disguise. I do agree with that. I think that Randall's injury, of course, is a blessing and a curse, of course, because you don't. His production is so big that that can't be denied, right? It's just he's 25 and 10. Those numbers are for some players all NBA first or second team, which I think he's going to be in between. But it's a blessing to me because now what I think is that you give Obi an opportunity to really get some run, um, and then you see other guys like Deuce come in like now because Friday was more like a team win. Even though Brunson went off, you kind of saw guys stepping it up in every aspect of the game. From Mitch, look at his stat line, 10 and 14, right? Look what Ihart did. His stat line was full, right? He had 3 blocks, he had like 4 assists, he had 8 boards. I think he had 8 points. I'm not sure. I have the points wrong, but I know his stat line was filled. Josh Hart was Josh Hart. But IQ had 14. RJ had 14. Grimes had 14, right? Look at the production from those guys, right? So Randall's points, and it was all pretty much mixed around with everybody. You know what I'm saying? I believe Obi also, I think Obi had 12. So all together, right? It was 7 guys in double figures, right? So just think of what that brought to the team, right? So you saw a togetherness, right? Everyone's going to talk about the fight between RJ and RJ and Obi, and to me that was nothing but 2 brothers getting in an argument because one didn't pass him the ball. That's regular stuff. That happens in the house. That happens on the court. That happens in the backyard when you guys are. That's regular stuff that goes on between brothers who are competitive. And to me, what I loved more than anything is them squashing it right there on the court for the world to see, because they understand. Like, listen, man, look, I love you, you love me. We here, we just want to win, and that's it. And Obi tapped him in his chest, said, "Yo, I got you, man. We good." And that's it. And that happens, man. And that's the beauty of sports, right? People are going to try to compare it to the Randall thing. There's no comparison. Those are totally night and day situations. And as a player, trust me, I understand that. There's a big difference from you arguing with one of your teammates because he made the wrong play and holding him accountable, or he didn't pass the ball, or he messed up, and you guys arguing on the sideline, on the bench, maybe even in the locker room, than you trying to restrain and calm a guy down from hurting the game. Right? There's a big, big difference. There's a huge difference. Right? What happened with Obi and RJ, I've seen that happen thousands of times, right? That even happened with me a couple of times, with a couple players. So that's regular. That's really regular stuff. We saw that with the Lakers, whatever. But with the Randall thing, that's totally different. And I'm going to break down that too, right? With Randall. Hey, I see a couple people in here. When you guys come in, acknowledge yourselves, man, so you guys can come in and I can acknowledge you to let you guys let people know that you're here, man. I appreciate you guys coming by. I truly do. But that's what I think, man. Ashley, I think that was just great for everybody to kind of be included. With this opportunity for Obi, it really gives him a chance to really spread his wings. And I think that's why he was upset. He never gets upset. But I think he was upset because he's like, yo, man, like, I got to take advantage of every opportunity I get on this court, right? Because this coach obviously doesn't believe in me. So if I got an opportunity to kind of get an open break or open dunk or something flashy or whatever, and I can score, and it gives him a reason to keep me in the game, I need that, right? So then RJ's fumbling the ball. So his frustration, I would have been frustrated too, because I'd have been like, yo, man, get the ball up. If he would have said something like shut up, I would have told him to shut up too. You know what I mean? That's what happens, right? That's what happens. Let's be real about that. So that type of dialogue goes back and forth. Sometimes you guys argue, you guys get into each other's face. That stuff happens in practice, man. That stuff happens in the locker room. That's regular stuff. I've seen a lot of fights happen in practice. Guys bumping each other, guys foul someone too hard, or get mad, get in each other's face. They squash it. They hug it out like brothers. That's all regular stuff. That's competition. That's everybody wanting it as being competitive. I love that, actually. Because if I don't see that, then I'm gonna say, okay, where's the fire at? You need the fire, man, in order to win and be great. I mean, Michael Jordan proved that. Magic Johnson proved that. Even Larry Bird proved that. You need that fire. You need that thing in your gut, man, that makes you want it so bad that sometimes you lash out at your coaches or your teammates or whatever. I've had moments like that. I definitely have. Um, I just remember, man. I remember a couple of times, not just with basketball, but with football, where you want the rock, you want the ball, you want to take your team and win the game, right? And you know you could do it. And if they're not giving you the rock or giving you the ball or whatever, you're going to lash out at people. Sometimes at your coach, right? It happens all the time. Um, Keyshawn Johnson had it, right? What was it? Give me the damn ball, right? So that happens, man, all the time in sports, man, because guys want to show that I can take my teams to promised land. Or in Obi's case, I can be a solid contributor here on this team, right? I just need an opportunity, and you kind of robbed me of that opportunity by not giving me the pill when I was wide open. And you want to do a step through Euro and you lose the ball. That would frustrate the hell out of anybody, right? So to me, that's typical. That's really really normal and kind of just regular stuff that happens, man. Right? So, but yeah. Hey, when you guys come in, man, once again, please acknowledge, man, so I can kind of give you guys a shout out, man. I appreciate all you guys coming in, everybody. I truly, truly do, man. Um, like I said, your boy reached 1K this week, man. So that's all because of you guys, man. Trust me. So I appreciate you guys coming through. So that's why I like when you guys come by, because I want to acknowledge you and show my appreciation by saying thank you, right, for that. Because I wouldn't be 1K without you guys, right? So I appreciate you guys coming through. Even though I'm putting through the content, you guys don't have to come by and watch, right? So I appreciate you guys coming by and just saying what's up, LV. You know what I mean? Or appreciate the content, or you know, I like your content. I hate your content. I don't care. All support is good support to be, man. I love it because in all the hate, or love or whatever, it's all room to grow. You grow with both, right? So that's how I feel about that. But yeah, man, I think that also too, um, with this team, I'm seeing like the family unit with these guys. I'm seeing guys come together. I'm seeing guys identify um, their weaknesses and their strengths, right? Not doing too much and overdoing it and playing outside of your role, right? If that makes any sense. Like perfect example, like when iHeart comes in and when Josh Hart comes in, they're not coming in trying to jack up shots and score the ball. Like they're not trying to do that. They're playing within themselves and playing within the game and within the system, right? So when that happens, right, you're able to kind of say, all right, yo, man, these guys are playing like a good team game here, right? They really, really are. So when you see that kind of happening, you're saying to yourself, all right, wow, okay, I like the production here because these guys aren't coming in trying to be something more than what they are, right? So they're playing within themselves and they're playing within the system. And if you notice that, that's what makes the team better because everybody knows their role. No one is coming out there trying to jack up shots like Brunson. They understand they're not Brunson. iHeart's not sitting there trying to ask for the ball to do a move like he's Akeem Olajuwon. He's not trying to do that, right? He's coming at the top of the key trying to look for open passes, trying to finish strong at the rim. And he feels like he can take a guy one-on-one. He'll go at it. That's it. Defense, he's an anchor. Offensive rebounds, defensive rebounds. He's blocking shots. He's getting his body in there. Sometimes his face in there. He does it all, right? So everybody is moving like a well-oiled machine, if you're noticing that. And so that's why you're able to win games. The problem is when you have a bunch of guys trying to just play out of their mind, right? Just stay in your lane. You know what you do what you do, and that's it. Don't try to be Randall. Don't try to be Brunson. Don't try to be RJ. Just play within your lane. Whatever you're there to do, you do. So that's what I think exactly what's going on here. If anybody can, right? Just if you can, just type in something like a "what's up" thing, because I think I might need to refresh the chat here. Something's going on here. Or you could just type in anything. I mean, well, type in something respectful, but but yeah, I think I might have to need to refresh the chat here. If you can, Something's kind of acting up here. If you guys can, just type something. I just want to see if things are coming through. Well, if not, I might have to reload the chat. Deuce. Okay, cool. All right. So all right. So it's good. All right. So Ashley, okay, put in Deuce. I appreciate you, Ashley. Thank you. All right, cool. So the chat is good. All right. Because it freezes sometimes. So when it freezes, I can see things kind of. Danny too, what's going on? Hey yo, what's going on, Danny? I appreciate you coming by, man. Thank you, man. Thank you for coming by. Truly, truly do. Once again, I made 1K this week, so it's all because of you guys. So I appreciate you coming by and checking out the show, man. I really, truly do. All right, cool. So I had to refresh the chat, man. It was like crazy. I don't know what's going on here. All right, cool. So I appreciate you guys doing that. All right, cool. So Ashley mentioned something that was great, right? Absolutely, Danny. Let's go Knicks. That's right. He mentioned something. He said, Randall's a gift. It's a blessing in disguise. My concern is that when Randall comes back, I hope we can still keep the whole thing going, right? Because when Randall's there, a lot of guys stay stagnant because they're feeding the ball to him because they feel like he's the top dog. So let him get off and get busy. Because as we know, if Randall doesn't score and he's not getting busy, he changes a bit. So Randall's at a point in his career where I think his time away is good for him, but he's got to really do some soul searching because this is a big, big time for his career. Because the playoffs are right around the corner, and that's when he's going to be coming back. The team is already going to be playing 4 or 5 games without him, and they're going to probably play well. So he's got to come in, still be Randall, but not mess up the flow that's going, right? Because of Randall, he's an emotional player. He's an emotional guy. He kind of lets that take over and dictate him and his game, right? Even though he's been playing great this year. But we're starting to see now this last couple of months, he's kind of like it's had an impact on him, right? And even that game that he sprained his ankle, like he came down this week against the Heat, he looked shaky in the beginning of the game. You could tell the pressure was on, and he just didn't look the same. He didn't. So that's why I'm concerned with him, but I'm gonna tell you where he's got to kind of make a decision about where he's going to be. All right, Ashley, the frustration with RJ is not that he doesn't pass to an open man, but he goes against multiple players and either misses or gets blocked. Right, he does try to. He forces, man. He's got tunnel vision. That's where the maturity comes in, and I think that because he's a young player, you gotta understand. I know people understand he's 22 years old, but that comes maturity is a big deal here. His mindset is that if I'm not scoring a pill, I'm not contributing. So in order for me to really feel like I'm contributing to the team, I gotta score the ball. And that's tunnel vision. So he's got to see the game through a wider view, and he's not. And I think that's the struggle with Brunson coming here and him trying to figure out his lane and his role, because sometimes he's just forcing. If he understands, like, listen, sometimes I got to rebound, pass, because he only had like 1 assist the other night, so he's not passing the rock either. So he's just thinking scoring all the time. That's all he cares about, and that's something that someone's got to pull his coattail. Maybe like a Johnny Bryant, maybe like a Wally Vett, maybe like a Derrick Rose. So kind of pull him and say, listen, man, we know you could score the pill. We know what you could do. But we need you to use other things to get your scoring going, whether that's a steal, whether that's a block shot, whether that's a rebound, or whatever that is, to help you get in the flow of the game. Because in doing that, that's going to help you score the ball. But sometimes he's so focused on that, that's why he makes the choices that he does, man. But that comes with maturity with your game and confidence with your game. But I think RJ's feeling the pressure, man. People talking that he's a number 3 pick and he should be this, he should be that. He's not John Morant. He's not Zion, right? That he hears all those things. And I think with him, he's like, yo, I got to score and put numbers up so I can be on an all-star team. Like, he's not thinking team. Sometimes he is, but I think when a game happens and he's in the flow of it, that's what he zeroes in on. And that comes with maturity, man. Someone's got to help him with that, right? Obi's under pressure, but he probably wouldn't call him out if he at least hit that shot. He might have called him out regardless if he hit the shot or not. You know what I mean? Like, I think Obi is under pressure, man, and I think it's because Obi understands every player is different. Let me say that every player is different. And if anybody here has played on sports teams, I have in high school and college, you understand like the importance of self-esteem, confidence, a coach sometimes ruining a player. And I think with Obi, he's one of the guys that his self-esteem gets rattled a bit, right? So he kind of he falls back. So when he gets a chance to play, you could see sometimes he's looking over his shoulder. And to be quite honest, he admitted that last year, that when he was playing, he didn't feel like he could get in the flow because as soon as he make a mistake, he feel like he's getting yanked. And Tibbs is an old school coach because that's what coaches used to do back when I was a kid. Like, you make a mistake, you make a bad decision with the rock, you lose it, or you make a bad pass, they yanking you, man. And they putting in somebody else. So some coaches can ruin players. And that's how Obi plays. So he's human, man. He's going to get frustrated. And then I think that at that moment, in that time in the game, he was starting to kind of get going, right? He had a dunk, he had a layup, so he felt good about where he was at. So RJ missed him. I think if RJ didn't make the layup, he still would have balked on him on the sideline like, yo, B, I understand you made the layup, but yo, I'm wide open, man. Stop forcing. And RJ would have been like, yo, man, they'd have been back and forth. And that's because Obi wants to prove to the coach that, yo, man, I deserve to be out here. I deserve a lot of playing time. I can play in this league. I just need an opportunity to show to where I can be able to, do well. But if I don't get an opportunity to show it, or if I make a mistake and it's just, you know what I mean? So I think that's what it is with Obi. I think that he understands what the dynamic is, man. He's not very smart guy. He may joke around and play and stuff like that and be a playful, upbeat type of guy. But he hears the voices, man. He hears the whispers. He sees what's going on. He's in practice. He sees maybe how some guys have a little bit more rope and some guys don't. But that's all because of the coach. That's not because of him. But he's also a young guy, man. He's also in his early 20s. I think he's 23, right? So he doesn't understand. He just wants to keep a spot in the league because he wants to keep a job. And not because of that. There's nothing worse than knowing you could do the job, but just they don't give you the opportunity to showcase it. There's nothing worse than that. So what you could do. You know your skill set. You know your capability. But you're being blocked, right? And that's what he's feeling, right? He probably feels like he's being blocked by Randall. But he's not really being blocked by Randall. He's being blocked by the coach. Because Randall's going to be Randall. He's going to play his game regardless if Obi's out there or anybody. Randall's going to do him. But it's the coach. The coach is a hard-nosed, old-school coach, man. And you make a mistake, man, and if you're not one of his guys, then that's just how it is with him. He doesn't care about scoring. Tips at the core of him. If you're in this league, you could score the ball. He wants to know what other intangibles you could bring. That's how Tibbs is, right? So, do you rebound? Can you defend? Right? And can you do the little intangibles to win the game? That's it. That's what Tibbs wants. And of course, your energy level. So if you have those four things, you're going to play. You're going to play a lot, especially if you can rebound and you can defend. That's what he values. He values that more than anything. And then if you can score offensively, great. And then you make smart basketball plays and you're reliable. You're dependable, You play every night. You play hard every night. Then you're one of his guys. You're never going to come out the game. And if you notice, that's why he loves Josh Hart. That's why he loves Isaiah Hartenstein, and that's why he loves Randall. Right? Because those guys, Hart hasn't missed a game at all this year. He played in all games this year, all of them. Now Randall's down now. Hart's played in more games than Randall. He has not missed a game all year. But that's because of what he brings to the table. Tibbs loves that. He loves it. He loves that more than guys that can score the ball. So if you play hard, you dive on the floor. You're a guy that's hard nosed and stuff like that. He loves. That's why Josh Hart is his guy. That's why he did whatever he could to get Josh Hart here, because he's a perfect Tibbs player. If you look at Josh Hart, that's exactly what Tibbs wants. Ashley, I appreciate that, man. Yes, let's smash that like button, man. If you're in here, appreciate that, Ashley. And that's what Tibbs loves. And so Obi has got to understand that, because number one, he's not crashing the boards enough. He's got to get more boards. He's 6'10", 6'9", 6'10". So he's got to crash that glass, man. And he's got to block shots. You know what I mean? And when he does that and he's scoring the ball, oh man, there's no way he's going to take Obi out. Obi's going to close out games. He might even have it to you have Obi on the court the same time with Randall. But he know Obi's not going to be there crashing the board and rebounding or blocking shots. He's just going to be on. So Tibbs is like, all right, well, I'll play him when I can. But I like the kid because he has got great energy. But based on his minutes, you can see he's not playing him because of that. Obi needs a mid-range jumper and slash to the basket. Agreed. Obi definitely needs that. I saw last game, he took Donovan Mitchell, I think, to the rack, but he missed the layup. He had his back to the basket, and he made a good, strong move to the rack. But even when he did that, he didn't seem confident in it, right? So those are things he's got to develop. But I'm telling you, he's got to hit that glass. He's got to rebound. That's why he loves Randall. Randall don't just score the ball. He gets rebounds. He gets defensive rebounds and offensive rebounds. Randall's 25 and 10. So that's why he loves him. So you got to hit those boards. If Obi was averaging 8 points, but he was getting 12 boards, he would play like 30 minutes a night. And he would work that in however he can, because he wants guys that can defend, rebound, and block shots. Because he knows guys can score the pill because they're in the league. So, of course, they can score. But can you do the little intangibles? And that's what Tibbs loves. RJ needs to be consistent on attacking. Agreed. RJ's got to he's got to be smarter with the pill, man. He's got to take better shots, and he just can't have tunnel vision, right? That's what I mentioned earlier. He's got to be able to open his eyes and see the court. Like, he's got to kind of not think one-minded, just score. I understand that's what he can do, but he's got to be able to make different decisions with the rock. And also, too, like I said before, I said it on my show a couple of other times. I don't know, man. It looks like he's like laboring out there. He doesn't look as explosive as he once did. He just doesn't. I don't know if he's gained weight or what, but he looks slower, man. He looks sluggish. He just doesn't look. It looks like he's out of shape. I don't know what it is, but something's wrong. I'm telling you something's wrong with him. He's not probably going to be honest. He's not going to say it, but something's not right. Just watching him. Same with Grimes. Don't rely just on threes. Right. And when Grimes takes it to the basket, Danny, you're absolutely right. He finishes strong at the Baja, right? And so that's something he has to really do. And then it opens up three. Because now you're a triple threat, right? You could defend, you can put the ball on the floor, you can shoot the three, right? And so, he's got to definitely do that, right? But I like what we're doing. I do like what we're doing. But to kind of get over that hump, we got to do those little things. Because listen, I'm telling you right now, when the playoffs come, we're not getting no calls. That's why I'm worried about Randall. And this brings me back to the Randall thing. Randall's got to decide, right, guys? He's got to decide. I'm gonna see what Ashley says. We may be asking too much for Randall to return and change his game to fit into the way the team plays without him, right? He plays 76 games one way. Exactly. I totally agree. That's why I'm saying I'm worried, Ashley. Randall's got to ask himself, right? Real talk. This is something he's got to ask himself, because he's starting to get a little reputation here. He can play, he can score, but he's starting to get a reputation. So he's got to ask himself, does he want to be remembered as being Rasheed Wallace or Tim Duncan? Both guys got the same skill set. Remember, Rasheed was getting busy when he was with Portland. He brought that ideology, that same way of doing things over to Detroit, and they won a championship with Larry Brown. Larry Brown is very similar to Tibbs. But Randall's gotta ask himself that. Do I want to be Rasheed Wallace or do I want to be Tim Duncan? And that's something I think that Randall struggles with. It's like Jekyll and Hyde. If we got a Tim Duncan type, the Knicks could be perennial championship contenders for the next 10 years. That's real talk. Because we got young players and we got a guy that can lead us and has got the right mindset to be a good leader to those guys and really be dependable to where we're not losing games because he's losing his temper. Because he doesn't like the refs, right? And so that's where, to me, Randall's got to figure things out. We're not asking you to stop being Randall, to get busy and score and be aggressive. Because remember, Tim Duncan was 20 and 10. Easy. And Rasheed Wallace was the same thing if he could get his head in order, right? So I think that is what the scales are tipping with Randall. It's kind of going back and forth like this. Like, what direction is your career going to go in? What? Uber talented. All-star 2 out of the last 3 years. So he's resurrected his career coming to New York. He has. Because remember, guys, he's been on 3 teams, this being his 3rd team. The Lakers traded him, and the Pelicans got rid of him. So now this is it for him. Randall's not a spring chicken. He's not 21 years old. He's 28. Or maybe 29. He's close to 30. So this is it for Randall. He's in a prime of his career. So what does he do? And I'm a big fan of the guy. I really do. I really am. So I really want to see him do well. But we got to be honest where he's sitting right now. Right? We need a closer. I think we have that in Brunson. Agreed. Brunson is that guy. But based on Randall and what he does in this playoffs, and I'm being honest, I'm sorry, I would not be surprised. And you guys can quote me on this. I would not be surprised if the Knicks move him this summer to get a piece in here that links with this team emotionally. Because not his play. The play's not the problem. It's the emotional piece. Now, based on getting a text and, things that happened last year and all this stuff, Randall's been super successful. But that's because of Jalen Brunson. But if you remove Brunson, Randall goes back to the old ways. And that's not good. So I wouldn't be surprised if the Knicks said, listen, man, this guy is as hot as fish grease right now. Everybody wants a forward like him. If we could trade him and some picks and maybe a Fourier for somebody, I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if they pull a deal off. I'm not saying it will happen, but I wouldn't be surprised if they pulled a deal off and shipped him to Dallas and got Luka. But the Knicks gave up 4 unprotected, Randall and Fourier for Luka. I would not be surprised if something like that happens this summer. Especially Luka wanting out. No, not especially. Rumors, allegedly. Luka not being happy in Dallas. So I would not be surprised if something like that was created over the summer. I wouldn't be. It'd be like a blockbuster deal. Now, of course, people say, "Oh, that would never happen. Dallas will never do that." You never know. Right, Danny. Right, trade Julius. You mean I'm sorry, RJ or Randall? Okay, RJ or Randall or both for Luka. Right. That's what I'm saying. I wouldn't be surprised if that happens based on how he does in these playoffs. Because once again, guys, I'll say it again. He can either be Rasheed Wallace or he can be Tim Duncan. This is his 3rd team in the time that he's been in the NBA. He's only 28 years old. He's already been on 3 teams. So we got to be honest about who this guy is. Uber talented for us. I'm not knocking that. I'm not trying to. I love what he brings. But he's hotter than fish grease right now. And I would not be surprised if the Knicks have an opportunity to get a major star like a Luka, someone that's unhappy, someone that's out there that's unhappy, and the Knicks are like, yo, wait a minute. And they're saying, listen, we want something back, but we want a lot. We want maybe RJ and Randall and 3 unprotected for this guy. And I would not be surprised if the Knicks pull off a blockbuster deal and did it. Need a smart, calm, cool, and collected team. Motivated players can play under pressure. Can play under pressure. Right. That's what I mean. So that's why I hope Randall's paying attention, man, because how this team plays and how they're looking like these next 4 or 5 games, and then if they're carrying over into the playoffs and they're playing well, but then he comes in and he kind of like messes things up because of Randall being Randall. I'm just saying. So this is an important part in his career. It really, really is. Uber talented guy. But a lot of uber talented guys in this league have been traded a couple of times. A lot of guys, right? Because of just certain things that, it just didn't work. Guys that could score the ball. A lot of guys could do a lot of different things, but they get moved. And you're like, yo, why are these guys getting traded so much? You know what I mean? They're not able to really, cement themselves, but they could score the ball. They're really good players, but they just couldn't find any stability any place. Like you said, when you're not getting the calls and you have to play through it and rebound and defend, right? Well, that's what the playoffs are, Danny. That's what the playoffs are. I mean, listen. When who had the press conference? Was it Donovan Mitchell at a press conference, right? After the game, I watched it. And he made a great comment. Well, shall I say statement? He made a great statement. And he said, when the reporters asked him about not getting calls or something, he said, they started calling in the second half like it's a playoff game. And he said, I know what that is because, that's how I was in Utah. But a lot of guys on my team don't know what that's like. So you got to play through that. He said, because they're going to let you grab, they're going to let you hold, they're going to let you hack or push or bump. They're going to let a lot of things go. And you got to just continue playing. You can't look like for the whistle. You can't do that. You got to play on. You know what I mean? Because it's the playoffs now. So it's different. The refs don't want to leave it in their hands. They want to leave it in the playoffs' hands. If it's not the players' hands, if it's not like a obvious foul, something crazy, you know what I mean? They're not gonna really give you that. They're just not. So you have to be able to adjust. You have to be able to adjust to what's being called and how the game is being called. Period. Because that's just what's going to happen, man. I'm telling you right now. Soon as they know, and it's game 1 in Cleveland, the Knicks should not be expecting to get any calls. They should just play ball. Play ball. Period. You know what I mean? And just kind of like don't really, just play through contact. Just keep on playing. They don't call it. We on a break. You know what I mean? And that plays a major, major part in teams moving on and teams losing. Right? And the word is out. Trust me, the word is out. The guys, all players and all coaches and all teams are looking for ways to have an advantage. If they know Randall's a hothead and they know all you got to do is say something to him like, I don't know, yo, man, you're a hothead. You know what I mean? Kentucky's whack. I don't know, something, whatever gets to him. And he just explodes because he feels he should get this in a call and he gets attacked and he's off his game and just making bad decisions. They're going to do that every game because they're going to say, oh, this is easy. This is easy out for us because we got their top dog off his game. So, that's something that I think we got to pay attention to as fans. Like we just have to. So this is an important time for Randall. It really is. I'm being honest because I'm be honest with you guys. And watching the game Friday and seeing what we did, and it was only one game. Um, I really liked what I saw, and I liked what I saw second half from Obi. What Obi does is he opens up the floor, man, because he gets out on the wing and he's active, like he runs the lanes and he plays up pace, and he's got quick twitch muscles, quick off the jump, everything. That's why I say he should have more block shots and more rebounds. He's got to utilize that more defensively and offensively. So that's where offseason is going to be great for him. He's got to work on that. Someone's got to work on it and say, look, this is where you got to get better, right? Because we know he can shoot the pill. We know scoring comes easy to him. It's obvious the way he switched up his game. He's hitting threes. So obviously he can score the ball. But now it's a little intangibles. I saw something in Obi. I said, yo, man, if we can get this guy to believe in himself and have self-esteem and not feel like he's getting yanked because he makes a bad decision, and you let him play through his mistakes, like how you should be with really good players like that, young players, yo, his ceiling is through the roof. Like, for real, for real. Now, granted, he's going to make mistakes because he's a young player. He's not used to getting all his time. But that's why you let guys like that play through his mistakes. That's why it stinks that during the season he wasn't getting like 22 or 23 minutes, because he should have had that in order to really see what he had. He was getting 12, 10. And the reason why Tibbs never played him and Randall is because he doesn't – him and Randall both like to defend. They don't. Randall crashed the boards, yeah, but we need somebody big to block shots and get in the middle, defend, and all that stuff. And you wouldn't have no rim protection. That's one thing Tibbs loves. He loves bigs who protect the rim, block shots, and rebound. That's why you never see the Knicks out there with no big. They might have went small once, but all season, that's what they do. He does not play without a big man. So that's what prevents Obi and Randall from being out there together. But if Obi played bigger than what he was, if he blocked shots, because then he can go small. If he blocked shots, if he rebounded, then you wouldn't really feel the impact of Mitch or Alhart not being out there, especially if we're playing someone like Toronto, right? That would be a great matchup, because then Obi's out there, you're not missing much because he's crashing them boards, he's blocking shots, but he's not doing that, right? So that's something he's got to work on. But I like what I saw with him, man. I really did. And I loved his upside, and I love what he brings. Like, his skill set is great. The way he runs the floor, the way he can score the ball, the way he shoots the threes, the way he's team oriented with like his guys, like all that stuff. I'm watching and I'm like, yo, this kid's got something, man. He just needs a shot. Totally different from the Cam Reddish thing. Cam Reddish is like kind of like laid back, like he on that fly guy stuff. So I liked him, but I was like, yo, Cam needs an opportunity. But I saw in spurts what the coach was saying in regards to Cam Reddish. So it was wrong. It was wrong, of course, for Tibbs not to give him time. But I did see at times where I was like, okay, I can kind of see it. I don't see that with Obi. Obi doesn't get enough time to really, but when he does get out there, you see it. He hits threes. He's out on the wing. He's playing hard. I don't see Obi slacking. You know what I mean? I don't see him loafing up the court. I see him engaged and involved. He just looks like a player that's not given enough time. Because it's like once you start getting it off, once you start breaking out a sweat, he's getting yanked. How do you learn like that? Jay Supreme, what's going on, man? Cam didn't look like he was playing hard, especially on defense. Yeah, man. And look, and I'm not saying that. I'm not, and I like Cam. And I think that he did deserve an opportunity. But I saw lapses at times where I said, okay, I see what Tibbs is saying. Like, I kind of see it. So to a coach, I'm like, man, he ain't locked in, man. He think we in high school, right? So I can see that. Obi, I don't see that. I don't. Compared to Hart, Hart is night and day. It's literally night and day, Jay Spring. And I appreciate you coming by too, brother. I appreciate you, man. Thank you so much for coming by and chopping it up. Yeah, it's like night and day. Those guys are because there's different type of guys, right? There's different type of guys. Like, we all know we play ball. There's certain guys that things were given to, and certain things guys had to earn it. Cam Reddish was a 5-star. He's from Pennsylvania. He was a 5-star coming out of there. Everybody knew about him. He's always been uber talented. Remember, he's big. Cam Reddish is not 6'3". He's 6'8". He's long. He's bigger than RJ. So he fits. He's got the look, right? So he's got the look. He passes the eye test, as they say. So you see Cam Reddish, you see him play, you say, yo, he's right. And he knows that. So sometimes, because I play with guys like that, they go through the motions, man. They don't really like, because they know, yo, man, I'm a 5-star. I'm the top ranked. I'm the top ranked player, one of the top ranked players in the nation. I got 30 offers. I can go wherever I go. I'm going to McDonald's on American game. I'm that guy. I don't need to play hard. I'm going to the league, right? Like you just know. And then what happens? He goes to Duke, right? So he went to Duke, right? So Josh Hart's story is different, right? He's from D.C., Maryland area. He had to really work his way up to become a legitimate recruit. He's not that big, 6'4", 6'5". So he's a grinder. Like he understands, like, yo, man, I'm not 6'8" where I can score on these guys and as gifted as Cam Reddish. So I can't. So I gotta really work. I gotta rebound. I gotta score the ball. He's a team guy. Whatever you need, I'll do for you, coach. Right? So that's kind of like what I see with that. And that's the difference. And that's why you see a guy like Cam Reddish kind of being laid back and cool. And Josh Hart, every time he's out there, it's like lunch pail. Like he feels like he's got to prove that I belong in this league. Cam is a gifted, talented player, but I can see people questioning his motor. Right, that's what I'm saying. And he's uber talented, but that's the thing. He's always had everything, man. Like he's always been the guy. So when you know, all right, look, people think about it. If you know there's no guarantee you're going to have this or check next week, you're not getting any money, you're going to work hard for it because they don't guarantee. But if you know what's going to be there, you know you ain't got to work for it really. All you got to do is just kind of like punch in the clock and take naps. You're not going to work as hard as a guy that you know is not guaranteed. It's different motivation, man. And I think with Josh Hart and Cam Reddish, I think that's the difference. They were different players coming out at different times. Now, you saw Cam Reddish played 1 year at Duke. Duke was loaded that year. They had Zion, they had RJ, they had Cam. They were loaded with 5 stars. And all them guys left. Josh Hart didn't leave Villanova right away. They won championships. He stayed with Brunson. Those guys, they were good players coming out of high school. They were like 4-star, 3-star recruits. They weren't 5 stars. I don't think Josh Hart was a 5-star. I could be wrong, but he wasn't like, you know what I'm saying? And so when he came out, he went to Villanova. You know what I'm saying? So, and I think the story goes, I think it was one point he was going to get kicked out of school because of his grades. Josh Hart, you know what I'm saying? So his path is different than Cam Reddish. So that's why his mindset is different. He never started. He kind of had to work his way up in the league. Like, so those guys' mindsets are different, man. So he doesn't approach it like, yo, it's guaranteed. He knows, yo, man, I got to work. Because I've been traded. I've been all over the place, right? So hopefully after this stint right here, Cam Reddish will kind of lock in and kind of realize, like, yo, I got to, you know what I mean? Because he's definitely a guy that's had everything given to him, right? Ace of Kings, what's going on, man? I appreciate you coming by, man. Thank you so much, man. I hope you subscribe to my channel. But I appreciate you coming by, man. My first time seeing you, so thank you for coming by. Bro, Obi is not that good. He's not aggressive. Doesn't have a real shot. He can't create. He should have never been drafted. Well, that's not true, man. Obi was player of the year in college, man. He was the player of the year in college. He was getting busy in college. He was getting busy. I think he was at Dayton. He was getting busy. Getting busy. 6'8", 6'9", jump out the gym, super athletic. He's got a lot of upside. So that's what they see with him. He's basically a post player, but he's developed a 3-point shot. So he has a lot of upside that a lot of people see that they can work with in order to help him get better, right? So I think that's something he's got to do. But what he lacks, believe it or not, is confidence, right? So I think he's a different type of player. Some guys don't need confidence. You know what I mean? Some guys, so I think it's different with Obi, right? He's guy. He needs self-esteem. He needs self-reassurance. He needs a little leeway to feel comfortable playing his game. You know what I'm saying? Okay, Jay Supreme. Okay, what the hell do you think is the issue with RJ, man? I didn't watch him at Duke, but to be honest, he doesn't look very good. Okay. I've been saying this for the longest with RJ, right? He doesn't look the same as he did last year. I don't know, something is wrong. Remember, guys, like I said before, he went down last year with a knee injury. Remember that? He hurt his right knee. I don't think he played open run this year. I don't think he did none of that because he was trying to get the contract. And he was training and working a lot with his trainer. So I don't know. Like I think something wrong with him. I'm being honest with you. I see he's dragging his leg. Like you see, he doesn't look because he looks like he's laboring. I don't know if he's gaining weight. He looks heavier. Like I'm being honest with you guys. I think something's wrong with him. I think his knee is still bothering him from last year. I don't think he got it looked at because he was on his contract year. So I think that he's kind of holding back really probably what's wrong with him. I wouldn't be surprised if this summer you hear he had his knee scoped. I would not be shocked if you hear that. Then I'm gonna say I knew it. Because I'm watching him. He doesn't look like the same guy. He's lost his explosion, everything, right? I didn't watch him at Duke. He was nice at Duke, man. That's why he was drafted so high. He was number 3 pick because he was getting busy over there. Him and Zion, he was getting busy. They were getting busy, man. He went basically right after Zion. His upside was through the roof, man. Remember, RJ's big, man. He's about 6'7". He's big. He's strong. But I think he's hurt, man. Remember how good he played last year. He didn't look like this. He was playing good. Remember, we were saying, listen, man, whatever with Julius, we got RJ. So we got to pay him. Remember that. And remember, the Donovan Mitchell deal, they wanted RJ because of how good he played last year. Ace of Kings. What does he do elite? He's 24, came in supposed to be an NBA ready and wasn't. He's not that good. All he does is run. Where's the mid-range? Where's the post moves? Come on, bro. Now, listen, I agree with you. But that's development, right? He's got to develop that. So there's something going on during the offseason where he's not developing his skill set. But I can't say, Ace, that he doesn't have that. I think he does. He's just got to develop it. So it's all in his mindset. Once again, I'm going to say it again. I think he has an issue with self-esteem. He even said it. He looks over his shoulder. He's not sure if he's going to get yanked. So he doesn't have the room to make mistakes and play through things. I do see the skill set, man. I think he's just got to develop it. So sometimes, man, everyone develops differently. Some guys develop quicker. LeBron was ready at 18. He was. Now, I'm using him. I'm sure that's crazy. I get it. LeBron was ready at 18. Kobe wasn't ready at 18. Kobe needed a couple more years. So everybody's different with development. Some guys need to be in college longer to be better players. D Wade didn't come right out. He wasn't ready. He needed to be in college for a couple of years. Same thing with Chris Paul. Same thing with Melody, the 1 year of college. He could have came out, but you know what I mean? So everybody's development is different. And I think that's where Obi is. Danny, RJ's too slow on defense. Yeah, man. His lateral quickness is off. That's what I'm saying. Something is off with him. RJ is trash. He needs to go. He's an average role player. I think Ace. I think RJ is better than that, man. We saw it last year. I just think that I think he's hurt. I'm being honest with you. I don't think he's 100%. I think he's been playing through it. You could see him. He's like dragging. Like his lateral quickness is off. He's dropped, man. But I think he's playing through something, and he's not saying nothing to nobody. He's just playing. He's not complaining because he's able to still be crafty enough to score. Guys, he's averaging 20 points a game. You know what I'm saying? So New York Knicks City Square. Yep. Salute, my G. Y'all appreciate you coming by, man. Salute. Appreciate you, man. Thank you for coming by, man. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. But I appreciate you coming by. I truly, truly do. Like I said earlier, your boy is 1K, and that's all because of you guys, man. 1K subscribers, and that's all because of you guys. And I appreciate you guys coming through. I truly, truly, truly do. Okay. Jay Supreme said, right, we thought the team was going to be his after last season. Right. He regressed from last year. He looks awful most of the time. Right. Jay Supreme, that's what I'm saying, man. I'm telling you guys, I played ball before. No one drops off like that. You get better because you realize, oh, the league ain't on it. Like, when I come back next year, I'm going to get busy. I think it's something wrong. Remember, he hurt his knee last year. So I don't know if I think it's something wrong with him, right? I just do. I would not be surprised if this summer you see him get a procedure done. I'm telling you, because he just does not look the same health-wise. He just doesn't look the same. Ace. But he's an older player than the guys in college. And man among boys, that's not real. He's just as bad as RJ. No mid-range game, too. Listen, man, I wouldn't say – I just think players develop differently. They just do. You know, he's a late bloomer. He's uber athletic, right? We all know that, right? We see him jump. We see him. He's going to run the floor, right? We see that. I just think the little intangibles he needs to work on. The big thing to me is not just scoring. Anybody could score. I think some intangibles he's got to work on. He's got to rebound better and block shots better. And I think his athleticism, he should be averaging at least one block a game. Like he just should be. Especially when guys try to take it on him, layup. He's jumping out the gym. He needs to block that. Get that out of here. So that's got to get better and rebound. Those things he's got to work on. He does that, his game will get better. He's got to get better in the post, right? Like you said, 15-footer turnaround jumpers. That he's got to develop that. He's got to work. So he's got to really lock into the gym. He's got to be actually doing what IQ does because IQ's 20 times better than what he was last year. But IQ's in the gym. You see him all the time. He's in there with over there in Black Ops, right? With Melo and the crew over there in the city. He's out there training with those guys during the summer. So you see IQ. He's locked into really, really getting his craft right. So that's what Obi's got to do. And really do things. You got to develop things that you're going to do in the game. Not just play, but really work on things that you're going to do in the game. And then also, too, do open run. Not just guys you know, but NBA guys. You know, I've used this name before. Rico Hines out there in LA. You got to go play with NBA guys, right? He's turned guys into, like, all-stars. Like Siakam, that's where Siakam got better. He played with Rico Hines in the summer. Baron Davis and all those guys, all them West Coast cats, he was out there playing all summer, and those guys develop because you're playing against pros all year. So your game doesn't. So when you come into camp, you're gonna be better because of who you played against during the summer. So you can't play with your boys from the hood. Like you can't do that. You gotta play with NBA guys to get better. Danny said that's the problem with RJ. He got paid. Yeah, man. Money. When you're a fat rat man, you're eating. That changes all your motivation, right? Jay Supreme, was he playing the bully ball at Duke? Makes me think that he was able to do that in college, but now he's playing against bigger, stronger men. His jumper is beyond suspect. His handle is suspect too. Yeah, man, the league will expose a lot of guys, man. The league is no joke. Like, guys, let's be honest. The league is no joke. So when you come in here, you're going to get exposed. Everybody does. Right? So, you know, and I'm a Knicks fan, go back. I remember Jordan was getting exposed. Remember Iverson in with the crossover. So he got exposed sometimes. Right? Guys scored 20-something on Jordan, right? There've been stories about it. Doc Rivers and guys like that. So the league exposes you, man. You're a tough player. You got to work on your game. But that's why the greats lock in all the time, off year, to develop their weaknesses, make their weaknesses their strengths. You got to work on your game. Remember, when Patrick Ewing came in the league, he could not shoot jump shots. He had to develop that, man. You got to develop in this league to get better because the league is getting better each year. So if you come back, you take the summer off, it's over because guys are coming in ready to go. Ashley, Ace of Kings trolls. Who says an NBA player can't play, especially one who's been drafted? If he says he was drafted too high based on your current performance, then maybe. I got you. Danny, we got the best bench. Come in ready and defend. Absolutely. Danny, I do agree. We do. Jay Supreme, I agree. I think at best RJ is a rotation player. Hopefully you can give he can give solid 15 to 17 points per night, grab some boards, and play D. And I'm cool with that. I just don't see him being a star, though. Boss, he's averaging 20 points a game, 19 and a half, 20 points. And that's with him looking the way he looks. We saw one game him go off, right? So we had 32, I think, right? So we saw what he could do last year. So no way he's a role player. I just think he's not healthy. I'm telling you, man. Because there's no way. We saw last year, he's this. There ain't no way. Come on, man. I just think some players have tough years. Like Randall had a tough year last year. I think some players have tough years. And I think with Brunson coming in has changed things up for RJ. On top of, I think RJ's, I don't know if he's healthy, man. I'm telling you, because he doesn't look the same. He just doesn't. You know what I'm saying? So I think we still give him time. He's young, man. He's only 22. Let's not throw him out with, throw him out with the bathwater, right? Throw the baby out the bathwater, but we'll say RJ. Don't throw RJ out with the bathwater. Just give him time, man. All right, give him time. We just paid. Come on, we just gave the kid the bag, so we gave him $100 million. So we gotta kind of be, mindful about that, right? So, NBIC, what's going on, man? Peace, man. Peace, my brother. I appreciate you coming by, man. Let's go Knicks, man. Got a couple more hours. We're gonna be rocking and rolling. 250. Got a couple more hours, man. We're gonna be rocking and rolling. We're gonna secure this win. Oh, guys, also too, Beal is out tonight. Porzingis is out tonight. And Kuzma is out tonight. That's the easy dub. We should secure it tonight. But we don't know. Based on what happened with the Timberwolves, we got to come ready to play. But that's what has been circulating. Beal is out, Porzingis is out, and Kuzma is out. Unknown, man. Unknown, whoever you are. I appreciate you coming by. All right, let me get back to Okay. People who compare Obi to Amari are delusional. He jumps out the gym with no aggressiveness. I haven't seen him dunk on anyone. He's softer than Q-tip. Bro, he's not it. If he's not running, it's useless. If he wants minutes, he needs moves, period. He's to blame, not Tibbs. Okay. You're making valid points. But once again, I see his upside, man. You gotta give him time. Everybody develops differently. I see the upside with him. I know he has limitations. I'm not knocking what you're saying, but I see upsides too. I think that development is the key, man. When you get this league humbles a lot of dudes, man. It does. Because when you come in there, you realize how nice guys really are. And you say to yourself, yo, man, this guy's at the end of the bench and he's not getting no minutes. I play with this kid. This kid was averaging 30, whatever. How is he not playing, right? The league humbles a lot of guys. You do not realize how hard it is. You got to eat, sleep basketball all the time. And sometimes with certain guys, it takes them longer to develop to get it. I think with Obi, he's the same type of guy like that. I think you got to give him a little leeway to let him play. Listen, dude, last year when he was starting all those games last year with IQ, he was averaging 21 points a game. So he's not a bum. You know what I mean? I think he just has to work on his game. It's different, man. This league is different. You can't take nights off, too. Key to the night. The Knicks can't take a night off because you saw what happened with the Timberwolves, right? You had a whole bunch of cats just shooting threes and scoring and killing the Knicks. Randall had 57. It didn't matter. They still lost. Right? So I just think Obi's got to develop more, man. To me, the key is that Obi's got to rebound. He's got to block shots. When he does that stuff, it's gonna give him reason to play more, and then he's gonna have more leeway to get better. The key with basketball, and I don't know if anybody's played, put thumbs up. The key is with basketball is you got to get lost in the game, if that makes sense. And I played in high school and college, said that before, and I played in summer leagues. You got to get lost in the game. If you're getting yanked out as soon as you can't even break a sweat, it's hard to get your rhythm with the game. You got to get lost in the game. To meaning that You can play through mistakes. You can play through a foul. You can play through a bad pass. You can play through a missed jump shot. You can play through a guy blowing by you on defense. You're like, damn, I made a mistake. But you can play through it and make up for it, and you get lost in the game. Or you know, you done played 30 minutes and your stat line is crazy. You got 17 points, you got 8 boards, you got 2 steals, you got 1 block, you got 4 assists, right? Because you got lost in the game. But if you can't do that and you're getting yanked every moment, there's no development there. You can't even break a sweat. So Tibbs plays a major part with that, man. He does. Not everybody can play with Tibbs. If you guys go back and do some research, I talked about it on one of my older shows. There's been a lot of players that could not play for Tibbs, man. They've complained about him. He's gotten better. He almost got fired in December this year, guys. So I love Tibbs. I think he's doing a great job, but they was about to let him go this year. And he even said it. So there's a lot of guys that can't play with him, man. It's a certain type of guy that can play for Tibbs. He's an old school, tough-nosed coach. And I've known some coaches like that. They'll yank you out for anything. And that's hard to play. It's hard to play like that. Some guys can play under it. Some guys can't. So it depends, man. You know what I'm saying? Because I wouldn't be surprised if Obi goes someplace else and is averaging 17. And you're like, yo, we had him with us. How is he not? Because him and his coach jive. They work together. They let them play. Okay, Ashley. Okay, we should blow Washington out tonight. So hopefully we rest Brunson the last quarter and give Deuce 20 minutes. I agree. I think Obi should get about 30 minutes tonight. NBIC. Okay, RJ needs to understand his role. Agreed. Unknown. Somebody going to turn into Reggie Miller again. I know, right? Yo, man, that's what happened last game because that's exactly how they look. Peace. Let's get this tonight. Let's go Knicks. Okay, I guess Danny's out. Danny, I appreciate you coming by, man. I appreciate you. Jay Supreme. Okay, Obi needs more time, needs more aggressive rebounding and playing D. That's what I've said. Absolutely. He definitely needs more minutes than for him to be able to show what he could do. Agreed. Unknown. These types of games scare me, which is crazy because I don't be worried about these teams like Philly and Boston, right? Because this is an easy win. So, you know, you want guys locked in. But I think they will be. I think guys will be locked in. I think that guys understand that you know, what's at stake here. And also, two guys want to play. They get an opportunity to play. So you're not going to have guys taking it off. You're not going to have guys taking it easy like Obi or Deuce or IQ or definitely not Josh Hart. Those guys are going to play hard. Hart definitely is going to play hard. He's not going to take any nights off. So I'm not worried about that. Obi's a starter. And will be 20-plus player on any team. Listen, man, I see the upside with him. I know he's got to get better, but I see the upside. Unknown, you play ball? I appreciate you, man. Absolutely. Okay, MC. Remember what I told you about Randall? I said we should trade him in year 4 before he starts getting hurt. Look, Christmas came early. No change in 31. Cancel Christmas on time. Yo, man, listen, you know what? You got valid points, man. I mean, I can't knock you. I remember what you said before about the possibility of, you know, we got to see what happens in the playoffs, right? Because Thibodeau has shown he plays his guys too hard. They don't have enough in the playoffs. That's the proof. The proof is in the pudding, right? So we got to see. Because that you know, that's what the talk is with him. So we got to see if that stays true this time around. Earl, what's going on, man? I appreciate you coming by, Earl. Obi needs more than one dimension, right? Obi does. He does. He's got to work on his game this summer. If I was him, that's what I would be doing. IQ is going to go off, and McBride, Obi will have 15. Maybe it's C doesn't want 15. Maybe it's C doesn't want it bad enough, right? Oh, if he doesn't want it bad enough, I got you. Okay, Earl. Exactly. His confidence is very low, right? And I don't think Tibbs is building it. Absolutely. Okay, but let's talk about Grimes. Grimes' development has been fabulous this year, man. Once again, he's able to play through his mistakes. So you're seeing him play with confidence now down the stretch, right? You're seeing that with Grimes because he had a whole year to play. So now you're seeing a guy that's playing, he's shooting. Like he ain't thinking twice because he knows who's breathing down his neck. It's Josh Hart. He's taking everybody's time. He's taking because When he come in, he don't come out. Right? I'm telling you right now. Think about it, guys. When he comes in the second quarter, when the first quarter, he plays the whole second quarter. When the third quarter starts, he comes in the third quarter. He plays the whole fourth quarter. Josh Hart does not come out the game. So he's breathing down everybody's neck. Right? RJ's minutes and Grimes' minutes. So Grimes is saying, yo, I'm shooting. And I'm taking it to the rack. I'm getting mine. And it's showing. He knows he's got to earn it. So I love Grimes' development. I want to see how he does last year because IQ's earned his money this year. So I want to see if Grimes takes a leap next year like IQ has done this year. If Grimes takes a leap like IQ does, the Knicks are going to have some decisions to make. Do you think free throws are going to hurt us in the playoffs? Yeah, man, that's the key, man. You know, once again, when the playoffs start, the courts get smaller. The refs swallow their pill. The refs swallow their whistles, and the game gets more intense, and anything goes. So every game is different. Every quarter is different. So if you get an opportunity at the free throw, those are freebies. You got to knock them down because that could be the difference in a game, 1 or 2 points. Period. So if you lose by 3, and your team was 20 for 28 from the free throw line, that's the ball game. Period. That's the ball game. Because you left an extra 8 points out there at the free throw line. So that's major. So they got to tighten that up ASAP. Ace of Kings. Without Randall, we are screwed, people. Want Randall traded? I guess you want to play even, or excuse me, I guess you want the play-in or even worse, no playoffs. Ace of Kings traded. I mean, listen, I talked about it earlier. I'm going to touch on it again. Randall, there's a lot of questions around Randall. Right? Listen, guy's uber talented. But it ain't about your skill set at this point. At this point in the season, it's not. Because we know who you are. Everyone knows you can score the ball. Everybody knows you're 25 and 10. But like Jeff Van Gundy said, I did my show on that. You go back and check it out. What's his poise going to be? What's his poise going to be? Is he going to be able to handle it when the refs swallow their whistle and they're not giving him no calls? Can he handle that? If you guys wasn't here earlier, I made the great comparison. Does Randall want to be a Rasheed Wallace or does he want to be Tim Duncan for this team? Because remember, guys, Rasheed Wallace was uber talented. He was the man coming out of Carolina with Jerry Stackhouse. He went to Portland and got busy. He was on Portland teams that was pushing the Lakers to the brink with Scottie Pippen, Bonzi Wells. They had a crew over there. Sabonis, they had a crew in Portland. Then he left and went to Detroit and won a chip, and he was the man out there. So Rasheed Wallace was no bum. But what hurt his career is getting texts, getting ejected. He was known as a head case when he was a hell of a basketball player. Once again, this is Randall's third team in his career. He's 28 years old. He's going to be 29. His third team. This is not his first team. It's his third team. They let him go with the Lakers. They let him go with the Pelicans. Now he's here. He wasn't an all-star prior to coming here. He's been an all-star 2 out of his 3 years. So this is home base for him. So what is he going to do with this? Because in this city, you are not judged. You are not judged on what you do in the regular season. You're judged with the playoffs, man. Period. Because as great as Ewing was, he could never get us over the hump and win a chip. And Ewing took us there twice. And then Ewing was a perennial all-star. But he couldn't win. So we've seen this before. So that's why in this city, Randall, what he's doing is not really special. We appreciate it. We love it. But we've seen this before. We've seen a guy who's been somewhat, actually, we saw a superstar in Patrick Ewing taking us to the Eastern Conference Finals, the quarterfinals, playing the Bulls, taking the Bulls 6-7 games in those wars with the Heat, in the wars with the Pacers. We've had a guy that's done that where the Knicks were constantly in the 90s in the talks for being a title contender. But we couldn't get past the Bulls. We couldn't get past the Rockets. We couldn't get past the Spurs. So we got to be real here. And I love Randall. He's uber talented. But who is he going to be for this team? Because you take away Jalen Brunson, he transforms right back into last year. He just does. That's a fact. That's already been proven. He loses his shit. You know that. He does. So once again, is he going to be Rasheed Wallace or is it going to be Tim Duncan? The numbers say Tim Duncan. But the attitude and the way he is says Rasheed Wallace. What say you guys? What say you? Let's talk about it. Because he's uber talented. Let's not try to play him like he's a scrub, because he's not. But what is he going to be for us? And I said it earlier, guys. Some of you guys came in late. I said it earlier. I would not, if he doesn't show up and he plays like shaky because he can't handle the pressure or whatever's going on in his head, I would not be surprised if the Knicks trade him this summer, because he's at the height of his power right now. They trade him and Fourier and 4 protected picks or unprotected, whatever it is, for someone like Luka. I would not be surprised if that's a blockbuster deal, because everyone knows Luka's not happy in Dallas right now. I would not be surprised if the Knicks pull off a monster deal like that, or even send him and RJ for a mega deal. I'm just jumping out the window here, but I'm just saying I would not be surprised. I wouldn't. I'm just saying. I'm just throwing out names. You guys see where I'm going here. I'm just saying, at the height of Randall's, I would not be surprised if he doesn't come through in the postseason and he acts the way he acts and he can't handle the pressure. I'm telling you. I'm just being honest. If Obi worked on his defense and rebounding, hustle and toughness, the Knicks would trade Randall. And that's what I'm saying. He's got to work on that. That's the only thing Tibbs loves. Tibbs knows he can score. He knows he can. But can you rebound and defend, and can you block shots? You get that, you're going to get minutes. Look at iHeart. iHeart's getting more minutes over Mitch. They just paid Mitch. I mean, they paid iHeart, but they didn't pay him what they paid Mitch. He's getting crunch time minutes over Mitch. That tells you why. Because he defends, he blocks shots, he draws charges, he makes great passes on offense. So that's why he's closing out games. Period. He brings those intangibles that Mitch doesn't have. Period. That's why he's closing out games. Randall is not a superstar player. He's a 2 or 3 option at best. Listen, NBIC, I hear what you're saying. You're absolutely right. But we're treating him like he's a superstar. So what I'm saying is he's been an all-star 2 out of the last 3 years, which is fabulous. You got to give it to him. But if he doesn't come through in the postseason and some of those things that's been happening as of late, because he's had 6 technicals, dudes, in the last month. Like, it's been out of, he's going right back to him last year. I don't know why, whatever. You got to ask him. But if he doesn't show up now when it's money time, because this is money time, you don't get paid, guys. Listen, you don't get your millions of dollars for what you do in the first quarter, second quarter, third quarter. It's the fourth quarter. Do we remember how Jordan played in the first quarter, or do we remember his game-winning shots in the fourth? That's when you get your money. Randall doesn't get paid he gets paid for the play. That's why he got his money, because he took us to the playoffs. He became an all-star. That's why he did that. But that's because he took us to the playoffs, like, period. So that's where you get your money. So this is winning time for him. So he's already done the all-star. He's already been great during the season. So now what's the next step for him? Can he turn that leaf and take the Knicks to the second round and to the Eastern Conference Finals? Because that was regular for Patrick Ewing. That was regular. We was always winning the first round, going to the second round, or the Eastern Conference Finals. That was regular for the Knicks. But the thing with Ewing was, can you win a chip? Can you win us a championship? That's what was going on. And that was the talk in the 90s. And that's what we want the conversation to be now. Can the Knicks win a championship? Not can we win the first round. And if you can't be that superstar that's going to bring that type of conversation to this city, then you're trade bait to me. If you're, quote unquote, want to be the superstar. This time it's not going to be good for him. He needs to recalibrate mentally and see how well his team works with the ball without him. Agreed. He has to recalibrate. And hopefully this time he's doing that while he's out. Luka can play just as much. I do agree with that, but I mean, are we really going to compare Luka to Randall? Randall's not even in the same stratosphere as Luka Doncic. Like, not even close. Not even close to the player that he is. I don't know how Luka would fit. Luka would fit in perfectly. He would fit in perfectly. He does the same thing Randall does, but better. Better. Good points, though. Appreciate that, Unknown. It's King, bro. He's not going anywhere. He's our goon. Bro, it's not about goons, man. I feel you, but it ain't on. Listen, it ain't about goons. We're not playing at the Rucker. We're not playing at West Fork. This is the league. We don't need goons. Goons get ejected. We don't need him ejected. Okay? Them days is over, man. No more goons. Everyone killed him last year. He came back even better and stronger. Agreed. With Brunson on the floor, calms him down completely. So I'm not worried one bit. Agreed. But that's the problem, man. Why do we need somebody to calm him down? Why do we need a babysitter for him, man? He's getting $100 million a year. He's an all-star. That's the problem. So if Brunson goes down and he's our all-star, that means we're done. If Brunson goes down and he's the one that can calm the beast, then we're done as a team. If we're done, then that's a problem because he's an all-star. We shouldn't be done. We should feel that we should still win the game. I'm just saying. That's the issue I have, man. And I said this on my live about a week ago. He's like a killer. And I'm not comparing him to a kid, but I'm going to give you a scenario, like I said on my live. It's like a kid, right? They start acting up. They start being bad. You don't hold them accountable. But you give them some ice cream, and now they're good. Now they're doing everything perfect. Now they're behaving. They're not being bad. They're doing everything. They clean their room because you let them play video games and stay up all night and eat ice cream on a Tuesday night and a school night. But then you say, yo, you can't play video games till 12 midnight and eat ice cream all day. Then they say what? And they start flipping shit. They start breaking, punching holes in the wall. Come on. That's what Brunson is to him. The video games and the ice cream. So you take that away, and this is guy supposed to be an all-star, so you need Brunson there to babysit him. That's a problem. That's a problem. And that's the issue with him, man. We can't have that. Then the Knicks aren't going nowhere. Brunson already showed that he's kind of fragile, man. This is his first time playing a full season as the man. His first time. And look, he's getting broke up already. And that's a typical Tibbs move, too. We know that. All right, NBIC, you're right. That's a 31 thing, right? Guys break down playing with him. So now that he broke down, what does Randall do? He's back on his BS. Yo, man, we got caught like it is, man. Right now, like the way this league is, we don't need goons. I feel you. We don't need goons. Goons don't last in this league. They get ejected and tossed out. We need them there for us to win. NBIC, okay, I agree with your point on Randall. I'm ready to let him go while his value is high. Yes, a lot of people are saying that, man. I mean, I'm not yet. I want to see what he does, but I'm just saying. Okay, we're not getting Luka, so don't matter. Mark Cuban's still mad at New York about Brunson. You heard up, right? Tampering, right? Good point. Yeah, he tight with us. We finished in Dallas. Yep, agreed. Okay. Goons are Dylan Brooks, Draymond, etc. We need touch guys. Okay, cool. You mentioned Dylan Brooks and Draymond Green. Is Draymond considered an all-star? I mean, a superstar? No, he's like a star player, right? But why is he a star player? Look who he's around. The greatest shooter ever, and one of the Splash Brothers. Both Hall of Famers. They're both going to Hall of Fame. That's who he's around. So he can do what he does because of who he's surrounded by. They're not expecting 25 and 10 from Draymond Green. Dylan Brooks. Who's he surrounded by? Ja Morant. if he stays out of trouble, one of the future stars of this league. They're not expecting 25 and 10 from Dylan Brooks. So we don't need Randall to be the goon because the goons get tossed. He can't be the star and the all-star player and be a goon. We don't need that. Was Ewing the goon? No. Who was the goon? Oakley and Mason. And Xavier McDaniel when he was there. Right? Those were the goons. Those were the bullies. It was not Ewing. So we want Randall to be Ewing, right? Our star player. He can't be that and like he's down there in West Fourth or Dykeman. We can't have that. NBIC. What's funny about the Brunson point? Brunson is borderline injury prone and a defensive liability. You can't have Brunson, Randall, and 31. That's a three-headed monster. Unknown, right? Hart is our Draymond Green. Agreed. Jay Supreme. We need a goon on the bench to control Randall. Right. You need somebody like that. But once again, guys, I'm saying it again, man. You're putting guys in place to babysit this guy. That's a problem for our superstar. That's why Jeff Van Gundy said what he said about poise, man, and his lack of poise. The great players know that when it's winning time, I got to chill so we can get this dub. I'm not arguing with the ref over calls. It's the playoffs. We already know what time it is. So we can't expect certain calls. I got to be there for winning time to close out games and all that. The great players know how to have poise, man. They know how to have poise. They don't need a guy there to babysit them like they're Dennis Rodman. They don't need that. And that's the problem with him. Hart is our Draymond. Great, good point. Earl, do we look better without Randall? The offense isn't stagnant. Yeah. I mean, the offense was good when Randall was there. It was good. I mean, we looked good the other night, but I mean, Randall was getting busy all year. Let's be clear. And a big part is because of Brunson, like we said. So I think the offense, will still be. It's just he got to keep his head, man. He keeps his head, we good. I say you missing it on Brunson. Brunson is doing self-maintenance for himself to make sure he's at full health. He knows Tibbs' reputation. Okay, so you think, hey, Paris, what's going on, man? I appreciate you coming by. Thank you so much for coming by. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. I appreciate you coming by, Paris. So are you saying Brunson's making himself sit? You saying he's purposely sitting out games? Is that what you're saying? Because he knows Tibbs' reputation. So he's saying, nah, let me sit, man. Let me relax. Jay Supreme, like Udonis has him. Right. Like you need a guy like that. But still, that's a babysitter, man. We shouldn't have that. Unknown. We move the ball so much better. The thing is that in the playoffs, the game slows down. That's what I'm saying. The court shrinks, man. It's not as big as you think. It shrinks because everything. They all know the same sets. Remember, you got to beat a team 4 times out of 7, man. So you're playing a team every other day or every 2 days. You're seeing the same team. So you know what they're running. You know what they want to run. So that's why the court shrinks. So you got to run things to a T. You got to make shots. And you got to play defense. If you can't do that, you're going to get swept, period. It's all half-court sets. Right, that's when Randall should thrive. Agreed. But he's got to keep his head to thrive because they're going to be pulling on him, man. They know that they seen the tape. They know what you got to do. All you got to do is get him a couple elbows, a couple grabbing him and stuff like that. What's he going to do? Get off me, man. Stop effing grabbing me. Don't get on my face. I told you. Boop. Now you're going to scream at the ref for giving him a tap. You don't see him grabbing me? Yeah, so what? Yes. Okay, so Parrish, you're saying Brunson is sitting out because he knows Tibbs, and so he's like, I mean, you think his dad is telling him that? Because his dad remembers Tibbs from back in the 90s. So you think Brunson can still play, but he's just not? I don't know, man. I think he is hurt, man. I think he's got bumps and bruises. I don't think he's faking it. I mean, I think he is hurt. Every 2 years, Brunson gets hurt. It's been like that for 5 years. Well, he's small, man. How big is he, man? I think I'm bigger than him. I mean, I'm 6'3". What is he? about 6'1". He plays bigger than that. So it's a lot of wear and tear on the body with a guy like that for 82 games, right? But that's where IQ comes in, right? So that's where IQ is getting the minutes that he needs. And I think these next 4 or 5 games, I think IQ should be getting a lot of minutes and Deuce should be getting a lot of minutes to kind of spell Brunson. Maybe let Brunson play the first quarter, second quarter, we see where the game is going, and let those guys ride it out. That's what I think should happen. Paris, he just came for Donovan to let him know. Otherwise, Brunson is letting himself heal. Oh. Well, it's funny that you say that he just – remember, man, this goes back, right, to back to last year. Brunson was scorching Utah. They couldn't do nothing with him. He was giving Mitchell and all them cats over there in Utah the business. So Donovan knows what this guy can do, right? He remembers him last year. He knocked him out last year. So I do see that it was a flex to let him know, like, listen, man, it's not going to be easy when you play us. When he's on his game, he's dangerous. He's a dangerous player, man, because he's a scoring guard. He's just like Donovan Mitchell. They're about the same height. You know what I'm saying? They're about 6'1", 6'2". They're the same height. Mitchell may have a foot on him. He might be 6'2", 6'3", maybe, but they're not that big. But they're scoring guards. You know what I mean? So they're like a Dame Lillard. They can score the pill. You know what I mean? So they put a lot of pressure at the top of the key. They just do, especially with your guards. So I do agree with that. But I think that a big part also, too, Parrish, is that he needs to get his rhythm. He's got to get his rhythm. The only way you get your rhythm is by playing. So I think he plays tonight. Maybe he plays the first half and doesn't play the second half. But I think he plays tonight. Knicks get a good lead, and I think you sit him. But he's got to have his rhythm because he's been out, right? He's been out he missed basically the whole West Coast trip, right? And I think he's only played since he's been back, 2 games? 2 or 3 games? So he's got to get some type of rhythm before the playoffs start. So I think that's what Wednesday and Thursday was for. So we'll see exactly what happens, but yeah, I do think that Deuce and those guys should get a lot of minutes. Brunson plays the game like he's football, right? He takes a lot of bumps. Teams will target him in the playoffs. Agreed. Him and Josh Hart play the same way. It's just Josh Hart's bigger, right? Josh Hart's about 6'5", so they're bigger. He's bigger. He can handle the pounding, right? And Josh Hart plays bigger than 6'5". He plays like he's 6'8". The way he rebounds, crashes the board, defends, he gets in your chest, man. So they're both like football guys, right? And they're Villanova guys. So they're very similar to Kyle Lowry. These guys play the same way. Those Philadelphia Villanova guys, they all play the same way. In your chest, in your face, to defend. They're hard-nosed. Mikal Bridges, all those guys are the same. They all play the same type of way, right? So, I think it's needed in the playoffs for you to have a guy like that, right? You can't – it's hard, man, because you Jose, you can't stop playing the way you play. You can't do that. You got to continue to play your game and continue to do what you do best, right? You got to continue to do that because now it's playoffs now, man. Brunson is battle test. I'm not worried about him. Me too. I'm not worried about him either. Hey, guys, this is where you get your money, man. Remember, Brunson got his money because of what he did last year in the playoffs. If he didn't perform well like that, I don't know. I think he would still have came to the Knicks, but I don't think he would have got that contract. Because remember, guys, let's be honest. Let's talk about it. Nobody wanted to pay Brunson $20 million a year. Everyone was like, whoa. That's too much money, right? He just had 1 year. It's too much money. Give him $100 million. Remember, that was, and now that looks like a steal, right? So I think he is battle tested, and I do think that his championship pedigree is showing, right? So I think that it's just you just got to do what you do best, man. That's it. Okay, NBA. Wait, you're expecting 31 to make adjustments and reserve players? NBIC. I know what you're saying. Tibbs is going to play guys till they break. I get it. But I do agree that with a Johnny Bryant there, someone to be in his ear. Because perfect example, guys. Remember, what game was it? Remember with the Heat game, he didn't put Brunson back in. He let Brunson close out the game. I mean, he let IQ close out the game. He didn't put Brunson back in, guys. Remember that. So that shows that he understands and realizes, okay, you got to go with the hot hand. I mean, so that's my opinion. So I think he can adjust, man. He can. Let's give him room for that, NBIC. NBIC wants him out of here, man. He's tired of Tibbs. He wants him out of here. Paris, ask yourself, did Brunson look like he got hurt? He got a hurt hand? Brunson got a foot that needs to heal. The hand. It's just to get fans to relax about his foot. Laugh aloud. I've done it. Nah, you know what? Agreed. You do that sometimes because you want a break, you want time away. I understand that. So I do see that. But all these guys play through injuries, man. So I do understand your point. It might be bothering him a little bit, but to your point, can he play? I'm sure he could play. He's just saying, nah, let me just take some time to kind of heal myself up before and get ready for this playoff run. So I do see that. Unknown. I'm gonna take a leap of faith and say Tibbs learned his lesson. I agree, man. I agree, but now NBIC says that was Johnny Bryant all the way. Well, there you go. That's my point. Old Tibbs wouldn't have listened to Johnny Bryant. He would have said, nah, put him in now. We got to close out this game and beat the Heat. But he didn't. To your point, he listened to Johnny Bryant. So I think that Tibbs has learned his lesson. I think Tibbs is understanding and changing. Totally? No. I'm not saying he totally is changed. He's a new man. I'm not saying that. But I do think that with Johnny Bryant being there, Tibbs is definitely turning somewhat of a new leaf. Not totally, but somewhat. Paris may be on to something. Bron did the same ish and came back a whole week earlier when the Lakers started playing good. Laugh out loud. No. I agree with him. So I'm saying I can see that going on, right? I do think that players want to rest, man, because they want to get ready for the playoffs. And guys, maybe Randall's doing the same thing. How about that? Because I heard Brunson's presser that they had after practice, right? It wasn't. Was it after the Cleveland game? It might have been after the Cleveland game, or it might have been right before. When Brunson said, they said, "Have you spoke to Randall?" And he said, "He's fine. He's gonna be fine. He's gonna be ready to go." And he shook his head and laughed and was quiet for a good couple of seconds and realized he said too much. I caught it. I said, "Oh, he let the cat out the bag." And he shook his head and was like, he's getting around. He's getting better. And because he realized he caught himself. So I think Randall might be doing the same thing. I think his ankle might be hurt, but it's not a high ankle sprain. So with that, that's like really day to day. It's not really evaluating in 2 weeks, especially if your team needs you. So it's not the playoffs yet. Agreed. Ruggs, what's going on, man? What's good? I appreciate you coming by, man. I truly do. Knicks in 6. I like that. Knicks in 6. I actually have that. I have the Knicks in 6. Hey, listen, man, the way they looked the other night, if Randall comes back and Randall was Randall, he keeps his head in order, I wouldn't be surprised if the Knicks smacked him in 5. I would not be surprised because it's all about matchups, guys. I watched that game Friday because I wanted to see the matchups. Of course, they're missing Jared Allen and they're missing Isaac Okoro, right? I understand that. But here's the key to me. They have nobody coming off that bench. Nobody. Donovan Mitchell's got to get some rest. Garland's got to get some rest. Where's the other offense coming from without those two guys? Where? Who's creating for those guys? If Garland's not in and Mitchell's not in, who else is creating the score? Ricky Rubio? That's why we were able to blow them out and say they have nobody. They can knock down shots. But eventually, the game takes a hold of you and you start missing shots. Yeah, but LeVert is like, shit was shaky. But LeVert can't create his own shot though, Jay Supreme. He's not to me, LeVert's not even better than RJ. Right? So who else do they don't have an IQ on their team. But we do. They don't have a Josh Hart on their team, but we do. So that's key for the bench. Two guys that can come in and easily give you, IQ can give you 10 to 20 points. Josh Hart can give you anywhere from 8 to 15. So I'm just saying. You know what I mean? So that's the thing. So when I watched that game, I said, yo, man, that's the key to me, is the depth. That's the key. When that second unit comes in, because the first unit's going to keep the game close, as we saw. And then once that second unit started to impose their will, we blew them cats out the gym. We blew them out the gym. And we're missing Randall. So Randall's 25-10. Okoro and Jarrett Allen aren't giving you that. Give you defensive pressure and a couple of shots and block shots here and there. But you're not missing your all-star 25-10. That's not what's happening with them. So they got their players who could score out there. And the Knicks blew them out the gym without Randall. So the question is, who do they have that could check Randall? They have nobody for Randall. Nobody. Nobody for Randall. When Randall's on his game and he's him, they have nobody for him. Nobody. We already know Brunson was doing the Mitchell. Well, in that second unit, who they got for IQ? Rubio? It's all about matchups, man. Knicks beat them 3 times this year, if I'm correct. Or 2 times. Let me know if I'm wrong. But the Knicks, come on, man. I think the Knicks beat them 3 times. Because they beat them 2 times at the Garden. I think they lost to them once in Cleveland, and they beat them just now. Yeah, 3-1 against them, man. It's all about matchups. It's the same thing with the Celtics. The Celtics don't match up well against us, man. At all. They have nobody for Randall. Nobody. And they showed that when we played them in Boston. And we were down Brunson. We took 3 from Boston too. It's just matchups, man. It's matchups. And I just think that's what it comes down to. Now, playoffs is a different beast. I get it. But still, you get exposed in the playoffs, man. Because if you can't defend just because of who you're matching up against, you know what I mean? So I'm just saying. I just think that's where we, unknown. We have the most depth in the league. Absolutely. The more games Randall misses, the faster the ball will move and the more team will get. Right. Knicks got the best bench in the league, hands down. Absolutely. Karras is a better scorer than RJ for sure. I don't know if he's a better scorer than RJ. I don't know if he's a better scorer. RJ's averaging 20 points a game, and he's been efficient. Excuse me. Relax. Don't put me on fire. He hasn't been efficient. RJ's had one of his worst seasons. That's what I want to say. He hasn't played well this year. And he's still averaging 20. So imagine if RJ was efficient. He'll be probably averaging anywhere between 22 to 25 a game. So I don't see that with LeVert. Brunson straight up is developing quickly, right? Brunson is orchestrating the whole thing in the shadows. Agreed. Brunson thinks he has enough to do serious damage this playoffs. Dude is a championship guy. Agreed. He's definitely got championship pedigree. Definitely. I totally agree. He is developing IQ. You can see it. Garland and Mitchell are the only shot creators they got, and their bench is weak. That's what I'm saying. Listen, I think it's going to go 6, but I would not be surprised if Knicks smack them in 5, man. I would not be surprised. They don't just. I don't think they don't have the firepower. They can't match up with us. Randall can't be the first option. Brunson dictates the playoffs, right? But Brunson, that's what makes it better. That's what everyone's been saying, Richard, is that Brunson is the key. He's the captain of the ship. He makes things easier for Randall. That's why Randall's been able to dominate this year. Because with Brunson's pressure, he showed it Friday. With the pressure he puts on you, he's going to score on 48. You gotta pay attention to him. So now that gives Randall freedom to be Randall. And then that changes everything, the whole dynamic of what we do. Is Okoro coming back? I'm not sure. I think he will be. I think he'll be back for the playoffs. Then they're just sitting there, man, resting him. Jason Creamer 3. Yeah, I know we beat them in 3. Richard, we have to beat every Eastern Conference team this is. Right. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The one that troubles me and gives me problems is the Bucks, man. We just don't match up well with them at all. Our biggest issues matchup wise, 2 teams, the Bucks and the Raptors. The Raptors are going to probably be in the play-in, but they give us problems. They just do their mat. They have too many 3D wings, man. It gives us problems. They give us problems, man. Toronto they give us problems. We have nobody for. We just don't. We don't match. We don't. All our guys are small. They got a whole bunch of 6'8", 6'9" guys that can get busy. And Scotty Barnes be horsing RJ, horsing him. And Siakam be taking it to RJ to Randall. Then you got OG Anunoby. Then you got the other guy that comes off, and Van Fleet gives Brunson problems. So it's just matching up with those guys, man. It's just tough, and that's what the league is about, man. Sometimes you might be better than the team, but the matchups don't work in your favor, and so that's why you'll lose. If the Knicks get past the second round, Bucks, we go to the finals, the Eastern Conference Finals, or the NBA Finals. If the Bucks get knocked off, we might have a chance. We might have a chance. We might have a chance. But the Bucks is our. I'm telling you, the Bucks is our kryptonite. The Bucks and the Raptors. Anybody else I ain't worried about. I'm being honest with you. Toronto, right? Toronto's such matter for us, right? Absolutely. NBIC. This is Brunson's games played season. He's the most games played. I'm assuming. He's been in the league, right? 2018, 73, 57, 68, 79, 67. Okay. I mean, he's entering his prime in his career, man. Van Fleet be giving Brunson problems. He do, man. He gives him problems, man. He does. Van Fleet, man, be giving him they're like the same player. That's why. They're like the same player. It's just Van Fleet is right-handed, but they're like the same guy. Hard nose, small. Van Fleet is tough, man. He's tough. And he's got championship pedigree. He won a chip with come on. Cornrows, man. Come on, I forgot his name. It slips my mind, man. I'm sorry. It's a Sunday. So yeah, man. So it's gonna be exciting, man. It's gonna be exciting. I think the Knicks, Kawhi. Thank you, Richard. I know Richard's like, yo, come on, man. You forgot his name? Yeah, Kawhi, man. So that's where he's got a championship pedigree, winning that, and then also too learning from playing a lot with Kyle Lowry. Kyle Lowry taught him a lot. So he Van Fleet's got a lot. He's a lot better than what people give him credit for, right? So he's tough. He's tough at the top of the key. Puts a lot of pressure on the defense. But it's gonna be exciting, man. It's gonna be exciting. It's just, for me, like I said earlier, I'm so excited about this team and what we can be. I think we're one piece away. I don't think 2. I think we're one piece away. a big part of Josh Hart wanting to stay here is Brunson. That's his boy. And like Josh Hart said, he wants a place to call home. He wants a place to secure his family and have a place where he can leave his legacy. These guys are jumping all around the league. These guys want to have a home, like to where they say, okay, we could build something here. And that's what we're developing. And you got to give credit to the front office and Tibbs too. Johnny Bryant, you got to give credit to all those guys for drafting the way they drafted. Because IQ, Grimes, Obi, and RJ are all homegrown. And look what's happening. But I do think that we're going to have to give up something to get. And I would not be surprised if Randall goes this summer, based on how he plays, RJ, Obi, of course, Fourier's gone. And we got to get somebody back. We got to. We got to. Because we need a piece. Because we're right there, guys. We're right there. We're right on the cusp. I'm telling you. Keith Turner, what's good, man? I appreciate you coming by, man. Thank you so much. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. But I truly appreciate you coming by, man, to my channel, man. Thank you so much for coming by. So we're close as a team. We're really close. We're developing our young players. This is something we've always wanted as Knicks fans, to develop our homegrown talent like they're doing in Memphis, like they did, of course, in Golden State. They developed their young talent, and look what they got. They got a dynasty over there. So that's what the Knicks need to do. We got the pieces. We got IQ, we got Grimes, we got Obi, we got RJ. I love that. We got iHeart. I love iHeart. I love Big Mitch. Big Mitch is homegrown also. I love iHeart. I love the addition of him. I love the addition of Josh Hart that wants to be here. iHeart is another New York guy. He probably wants to be here also. Brunson is basically family because of Leon Rose's connection with him. Tibbs, his dad is here. We got a perfect mix right here. And even if Tibbs leaves, you have Johnny Bryant take over. All those guys love Johnny Bryant. So you got a perfect formula here and a perfect nucleus for us to build. We just got to get that one piece. And you're going to have to give up something to get. And I would not be surprised if they ship off Randall. Sell him now while his price is high. It's like the stocks. Get all you can get back for him. I would not be surprised. Because he may not mesh with what they're building here. I would not be surprised. Remember, they don't really want to let go of RJ. They love RJ. He's homegrown. They drafted him. That's why they gave him the money. If they didn't really believe in RJ, they would have sent them off with the Donovan Mitchell deal. Like Mark Berman stated, I got to quote him. RJ was on that table. They wanted RJ. That's who Utah wanted. Danny Ainge was playing Russian roulette. He was like, I want RJ. Because remember, Tibbs said, I'm not giving you Grimes. Grimes has got too much upside, guys. He's only in his second year. I'm not giving you Grimes. But they wanted RJ. The Knicks said no. And right after that, they gave him that money. And then they said, man, screw this. We will send him to Cleveland. So what I'm saying is we're close. We're very close. But we need that guy to put us over the mountaintop. We need that guy. And he's out there somewhere. We got to figure it out. Because that's what the Knicks are missing. We need that guy. Okay, let me see here. Let me go back. Okay, NBIC. Okay, as it stands now, we shouldn't expect less than Eastern Conference Finals with this team without a superstar since we only have a win now mentality. But look who's standing in the way, man. The Bucks is in the way, NBIC. We can't expect. Listen, second round to me is the key. We got to get past the second round. We got to get past the first round. Second round, I'm happy with. If we lose a tough series to the Bucks, loses in 6, I'm happy. Now we just got to make power moves to get over that hump. Paris, the Bucks gave us heck this year, right? But we actually have handled them same Bucks well the previous 2 years. So with Josh Hart and Ironheart being better, it's not impossible, right? It's not impossible, but still, man, in matchups, it's all about match. They got big guys out there, man. Big, big. You gotta. I said it before. Greek Freak 6'11". Robin Lopez 7'1". Middleton is 6'8". At the top of the key, Drew Holiday 6'4", 6'5", a power compact guard. He's like Josh Hart 2.0, can defend, but he could score the pill. How much he had the other night? He had 50 the other night, right? Then you got Portis 6'10". Then you have somebody else too. If you have somebody else too that's big over there, man. Oh, they just got Jay Crowder. Jay Crowder 6'6". Big, strong guard is another Josh Hart type that can defend and knock down threes. They're a tough matchup for us, man. And they know how to win. And who's going to guard Greek Freak? We got nobody for him. And don't say RJ for Middleton. Middleton cooks RJ, man. He's big. He's bigger than RJ. He's about 6'8". He can shoot the pill. And Drew Holiday gives Brunson fits because he's big. He's big and he knows how to defend. Hart has a huge addition. Hart might be the biggest reason we can make a run. I agree. I think the biggest sleeper coming available is Josh Hart, right? Meaning Jalen Tibbs guy in Miami about to scrap it, right? Yeah. Reynolds should eventually be traded like how Chicago traded away Oakley for Cartwright. Right, man. I wouldn't be surprised, but it's got to be a big deal, though. We're not giving up Randall for nothing. It's got to be a major, major deal. Blockbuster. I don't think NBIC, okay, I don't think we would have to give up that much. Remember, 2025, every superstar has a player's option. Right, I agree. But that's 2 years from now, man. That's 2 years from now. That's a long time, man. I understand, be patient. I get what you're saying, but if you can get something now, why not do it? You want your money later or you want it now? Just curious. Just asking. If you can get $20 million up front now, and I get it, all money's not good money, right? I get it. But if you can get a star now as opposed to waiting, I would do it now, right? Because you can win now. Butler's not that dude. No, he's not. But Butler's finished. He's old too, man. Keith Turner, we need a wing. So where would RJ play then at the 2? It's not the best position anyway. I just think to get to the next level, we have to trade RJ. Yeah, see, the J Supreme, Lopez 6'7", Giannis 6'11", Middleton 6. So they got they big, man. They're big on that front court. Remember, Portis is 6'10". They're big, man. They're big and they can score. That's why it's a tough matchup. It's tough. You get that paint is in the playoffs. It gets smaller. You got to score in that Baja. If you can't score in that Baja, you're going to have problems. The only one that showed that it doesn't matter is, of course, the great Steph Curry. So that's different. Let's not compare the Knicks to that. We don't have guys like that. So you got to be able to score in that Baja amongst them trees. And Greek Freak can play defense. So can Brook Lopez. So can Portis. So can Jay Crowder. And so can Drew Holiday. They lock in, man. You know what I'm saying? They know how to win in basketball. And they're tough to beat at Milwaukee, man. They're tough to beat because Greek Freak gets all the calls. Definitely would rather trade bodies than picks. Good point. Paris, we can go big. Randall got to fight Giannis, man. He can't do nothing with Giannis, man. That's why they put Mitch on him. He can't do nothing with Giannis, man. Nothing. And he's bigger. Giannis is bigger than him. Randall's big. He's about 6'9", maybe 6'10". Giannis is close to 7 feet. He kills Randall every time. I've never seen Randall give him the business. Never. Seen him do it last meeting and last year. Playoff Brunson, gonna be a heck on wheels. Best 4 out of 7. I agree, man. Drew Holiday's different, man. He's different. Yeah, we don't match up well with the Bucks or Toronto. Yeah, man. I mean, to me, second round is the key. Like, that's what I'm looking at. Second round. Eastern Conference is asking a lot. The Bucks would have to get knocked off by somebody for me to, because I wouldn't be surprised if we lose to the Bucks in 5. I wouldn't be surprised by that. They're championship pedigree, man, and they know how to win. They know how to win. They just do. So that's tough for a team that's still trying to figure it out, and we don't have the bodies to match up with them. You know what I'm saying? Like, you understand? Like, Giannis is a wing. He's not a center. Portis is a wing. Middleton is a wing. We don't have the wings to match up with those guys. They're too big, and they're athletic. Giannis is athletic. Portis is athletic. Middleton's athletic, and he can shoot. And those guys can defend. It all changes in the playoffs defensively, guys. You got to understand, they allow certain things. They let you bump, block shots, and do a whole bunch of stuff that you can't do in a regular season. So they can lose some games here and there, but they know how to win, man. They've been there before. The Knicks haven't. So that's what worries me, right? But that's okay, because that's why you play, you learn from it. We still got a young team. We build off of that. They both have too much length and size. That's what I'm saying, man. They just do, and they're athletic, man. They're not bums. You know what I'm saying? These guys are nice, man. Portis is legit. He can shoot that tray ball. And he's big and he's athletic. He could block shots and he could defend and he could score. He's coming off the bench. I wish Obi was more like Portis. Then I could say, okay, maybe. But Obi doesn't play like that. He doesn't play like Portis. Because Obi's just as big as Portis, but he doesn't play big like that. If we lose to the Bucks at the Eastern Conference Finals, even 4-1, I'm okay with that. We still have a young team. Agreed. Unknown, I agree with that. I like that. NBIC, you don't want to ruin the team chemistry. We have depth and an up-and-coming team. We can't just strip the team of our players. I'm looking at one more year to prove ourselves successful. I agree, man. I feel what you're saying, because you want to be patient, NBIC. Like, I'm okay with that. But this is a win now league, right? So we built with young players, which is great. You want to keep our homegrown guys. But if something comes across the table, right? Like, okay, guys, everybody in here. If the Knicks could get Luka Doncic, do you make that deal? Kev, what's going on, man? How you doing, Kev Rodriguez? Everybody, if you haven't, please go subscribe. Knicks Nation. We in here. Kev Rodriguez, Knicks-ish. Good content over there with those guys. So please go subscribe to that channel. Kev's been a big supporter. So gotta give big shouts to him, man. Hope all is well, my boy. Got a game in a couple hours, man. Let's get ready. Everybody, please go subscribe to my man Kev, man. Good stuff over there, good content. He's Randall Hive, you know what I'm saying? So just be careful when you go over there. Don't say nothing bad about Randall. He gonna black out on you. He gonna black out on you. Right, Kev? You gonna let him know. He loves Randall. He loves him. So everybody be easy. You go over there and talk about Randall, he's gonna go crazy. He may block you or something. You know what I'm saying? See? Jew is my guy. See, I told you. He's Julius High. Be careful, man. Be careful going over there. He'll line you up. He'll line you up crazy. But go over there and subscribe, man. Go get good content, man. Good content. So we got kind of see. Mellow and Stat. There you go, Kev. So everybody, so if we could once again, if we can do a deal for Luca, or if we could do a deal for Giannis, what would you guys say? Because I know a lot of guys saying we should just keep and wait till 2025. NBIC said that, but and I agree. If we could do a deal for Luca, how old is Luca? He's still young, right? Or Giannis, do we make that deal? He said, "I'm good, bro. I'm staying put." Everybody go subscribe, man. I'm telling you, go over there. It was Randall Hobb over there. We would have to give up the whole squad for those guys. No, Kev. I know. I'm just saying. What I'm saying is everybody wants to kind of hold on to the young guys, which I do. I agree with. But I'm saying if we can get a star over here, and we have to give up maybe you got to give up something. You have to give up maybe RJ and Randall, right? Or either or and picks, maybe throwing Obi or Fourier or something like that. Would you guys do that, or would you guys wait to 2025? Because it's a win now league. Everybody's on that. Yo, we got to win now. No one has patience, right? Only the people that have patience is over there in Memphis, and the only people that had patience was over there in Golden State. Everybody's a win now league, right? So would you wait to 2025 if someone becomes available? Because if something comes across the Knicks table, right, and the pressure that they felt with the Donovan Mitchell deal, they didn't go through, in the visceral that they felt from fans and everybody that they didn't make that deal. The Knicks were close, very close December to letting Tibbs go to how the team was playing, and everyone was saying they should have made that deal for Donovan Mitchell. So he turned it around, which is cool. We're happy with. So now we make it. We make it to the Eastern Conference second round. We lose. This summer, it comes across the table, Knicks table. They want Randall, some picks, Obi, and Fourier for Luca, maybe a Giannis, or I'll throw somebody else out there. What's my boy out there in or Devin Booker? If you the Knicks, do you do that, or do you say nah, I'm a chill? Somebody said I'm doing that trade. See, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. So do we wait? Because I like NBIC. He said wait, but it's all a win now league, man. That's the pressure. And I'm just throwing it out there. I know Giannis and Luca. I know those guys. I'm just saying. Let's just say because it's a win now league. Guys force their way out all the time. So if Giannis says, "Yo, I'm leaving," because whatever, I don't know. They cursed out his brother or something. He's like, "I don't want to stay in whatever." I'm throwing stuff out. And Luca's like, "I'm tired of this. I'm gone. I want to trade today." And Devin Booker knows that Kevin Garnett is retiring because they want a chip, right? All right, Kev said it. Ooh, boom. I've been talking about that for a minute, Kev. Appreciate you bringing that up. Or Jalen Brown. So the Celtics say Jalen Brown don't want to be here. He don't want to be here, man. He don't want to be here. He's tired of it. Got issues, woo. But here's the thing. He ain't going for free. I want Randall. I want Obi. I want Fourier because I'm just going to throw his contract out anyway. And I want 4 unprotected picks or 4 protected picks, something crazy, or 3 of them for Jalen Brown. What do you do? Do you make that deal? Jason Supreme said you make that move today, right? Okay, I'm just saying. And if that's Jalen Brown, hell yeah. Okay, so guys, that's what I'm saying. See where I'm going? Yesterday, Earl Grey said I'm making that yesterday. So NBIC said for Booker, yeah. Brown's good and getting okay, right. So okay, see? That's what I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying we do it Nah, bro, Jalen Brown's a free agent. Okay, so all right, so Kev, so you're saying wait now, right? People are saying do the deal now. So you're saying wait. But there's no guarantee he comes to us next year if he's free agent. But that's because he actually plays defense. Right. Not for Brown. Okay, NBIC says not for Brown. He's not doing it. Wait, and sign him, and you won't have to give up anyone? Okay, but there's no guarantee he'll sign with us, though, Kev, next year. Unknown, who's bugging? Talk to me. Bugging how? I want to hear this because what I'm saying, this league is win now. No one wants to wait. Ashley said, I'm making a deal last week. See what I'm saying? NBIC is bugging. Okay. He'll come, bro. Okay, Kev, I feel you. But what I'm saying is because there's no guarantee, there's no guarantee. Okay, boom, Kev. There's no guarantee you're gonna get your $20 million next year. But we know you make a phone call, you'll get it next week. Are you gonna wait? You're gonna say, nah. I'm hopping on it. Because ain't no guarantee. It's 50-50. I can get it next year. So I'm gonna make this phone call and just do it now. Because I don't want to take a risk. So I'm for keeping our crew. If we make noise in the playoffs, he'll come. But that's next year, man. I'm just saying someone. All right, boom. I agree. Fourier and RJ with picks for Brown. Okay, boom. RJ's not enough, man. RJ's not enough. You got to give up Randall for him. They're not going to want RJ. He's not an all-star. Brown is an all-star. Okay, so NBIC said, I'm only doing this for Giannis and Tatum. So you're only making deals like that for Giannis and Tatum. Okay? But that's saying something than what you said to me about waiting 2025, right? But that's my point. That's all I'm trying to prove point here. Because this is a win now league. My point is I want to wait. I want to wait to see if those guys are available. But something come across your table, right? You get a phone call. Scott Perry or somebody get a phone call and say, yo, man, or World Wide West talk to somebody. They said, yo, man, my man whispers, man, that Jalen Brown want to come to the Knicks. What? I think you should call over there and see what's going on. Really? Yeah. All right. Yo, man, they told my Jalen Brown will come to the Knicks. Yo, let's see if they'll take a deal. That's how it goes. Comes across the table, man. To me, who's untouchable? Who's untouchable is IQ, Grimes, and Brunson. They're untouchable. And Josh Hart. They're untouchable. Untouchable. IQ's got too much upside. That's why the Knicks got to pay him this year. Too much upside. Too much. The league is a guard league. Period. End of story. Steph Curry changed everything. Kyrie, all those guys. The league is a guard league. It's not a big man league no more. You got to score on the wing. You got to score from the top of the key. Period. In the story. You need scoring guards to go far in this league. Period. And you got guys who could defend. Grimes could defend. IQ could defend. Josh Hart could defend. And you got a scoring guard in Brunson that can score with the best of them, like a Donovan Mitchell. So they're the same type of guy. That's what the league is now. You need those guys, and we got two of them. They cannot go nowhere. They're untouchable. Right, untouchable and too young. Exactly. I'm not trading my youth. They're homegrown guys. I'm not trading them. Right. What did it get for them? But wait, Kev. But Kev, that's not the same. You know why it's not the same? I see what you're saying, but it's different because They're not young guys. Like these are young guys. These are our guys that we drafted that are homegrown guys, and they're young. So it's a little different. Randall's not a homegrown guy. He's not. Who else? I said Fourier's not a homegrown guy, so it's different. The picks we got to move stuff, so it's different. And those guys aren't young. So that's what I'm saying with our young guys, because we developed them, we got to keep them together, just like how Golden State did, and just like what they're doing over there in Memphis. But in order to get, you got to give up. So that's all I'm saying. When things come across your table, you got that's what probably they're gonna be faced with this summer. I guarantee it. I guarantee it because when you lose like that in the playoffs, second, you look to make changes. You look to make Fourier's going this summer, right? But the Knicks are going to try to make a deal to get somebody else in here. But you got to give up something to get, man. And I love him, but I would not be surprised if RJ's gone for a lesser star. Like I would not be surprised if RJ is going for like some picks, OB, RJ to get OG Anunoby. I would not be surprised if that happens. I just wouldn't. I wouldn't be surprised if that happens. Jalen Brown's a game changer. Yeah, he definitely is, man. He definitely is. Knicks better open up Dolan's wallet and pay quickly. They're gonna have to because he's gonna walk because he wants to start. IQ wants to start. He already showed what he could do. So imagine if IQ, who's the up and coming team that might need a point guard. All right, here we go. You ready? What if Pat the Rat gets him on the phone, and he says, "Listen, we got Jimmy Butler, Lowry is done. We got a rising star yo, man, I'm like drawing blanks, man. And the big man, I forget his name. We got Tyler Hero, right? We got a couple other young players. Bam, thank you, unknown. Damn, I'm going crazy, man. We got graduate star on Bam Adebayo. We got Bam. All I'm missing is a scoring guard and running at the top of the key because Kyle Lowry is finished. We can get him to come off the bench, but we need a starting scoring guard to help out. And this is what IQ's leaving. He's gone. And he's going to Miami. Pat the Rat's going to get him. So the Knicks got to pay him. They cannot play with him because if they play with him, he's gone. Because he knows he can go someplace and be an all-star. Period. And not for nothing, excuse my language, but I think he's sick of Randall shit. I think he is. I think he's tired of him. They say he's okay, but I think he's tired. That's what happened that day in the court. I think he's tired of him. And I wouldn't be surprised if guys like, yo, I'm going someplace to start my own shit. You know what I'm saying? Because if he can go to Miami, they got the stuff and they got the money. Okay. Yeah, but we have to be realistic. Guys like Giannis and these guys. I get that, Kev. I understand that they're not coming here. What I'm saying is, if that deal comes across the table because of whatever happens in the league, this league is crazy like that. We never saw Kyrie leaving. We never saw KD leaving. We didn't see that happening in Brooklyn. I thought they'd be good, and out the blue, Kyrie wants to leave. You're like, what's going on with this guy? Out the blue, James Harden wants to leave. Like this is what happens. Boom, they're gone. That's the league. You know that. So I wouldn't be surprised if something happened in the offseason. They're like, yo, breaking news, such and such wants to leave. He wants to leave Milwaukee. You know what I mean? Something happened, and they're like, yo, you got an argument. Look what happened to Yuma Udoka. No one saw that happen. They're like, yo, what's happening to Udoka? He got in trouble. Something crazy happened. He's gone. So I'm just saying, this league is crazy like that. Okay, Jay Supreme. OB is gone, and so is Fourier. Agreed. Luka comes to the Knicks, we're not winning, bro. What? Why not? Luka come, we not winning? Why not? No. Bro, you sleeping on Luka, man. Luka is all that. He's all that, a bag of chips. He ain't no joke, man. He ain't no joke. Luka's big, too. He's not no 6'4". He's about 6'10". He's big. Nah, nah. And we got the perfect team for him because he don't really got to defend. Randall don't play defense. Nah. Lucas, all that, man. Washington, Miami Heat, right. For IQ, right, bam. RJ's not going for OG. He's injury prone. No, I'm just saying they might want to deal with that. You know what I'm saying? Because OG, they want to get rid of OG for whatever reason. Things aren't working out in Toronto. There's some issues up there. So that's what I'm saying. Possibility of OG leaving. I wouldn't be surprised if that deal was on the table before. The Knicks just didn't want to give up the picks. What if they throw RJ in there, they lessen the picks, then boom. I wouldn't be surprised at that. So you would trade. So would you trade Brunson to keep IQ? No, no. They're staying together. They're a package deal. They're not going anywhere. They're not going. I'm tired of Randall. I don't even know. Nah, listen, Randall's an emotional guy, man. I love him. He's uber talented. But what I'm saying is that personalities struggle at times. And so what I'm saying is that if the Knicks play around and IQ goes into next season and he's not signed, he's leaving. He's not staying here because someone's going to throw him the bag. And there's no way, and because it's bigger than what players, like the players union and stuff like that, are going to talk to IQ and be like, yo, my man, you got to take this money. You got to take this money. You can't leave this money on the table. So just for the market value, IQ is going to have to take the deal because the players union going to be like, yo, what you get is going to change the market for other guys. So it's different, man. This is how deep it goes. Do you understand what I'm saying? So, well, if not, the Knicks are going to have to re-up. And they're not going to be willing to pay him what another team's going to be willing to pay him. And that's what happens. Udoka the straw. Oh, man, you got chill, man. Come on, I can't say that, man. Yo, Jay Supreme bugging out. You trying to get me... He's trying to get my account ringed up, man. No Barrett tonight. Oh, Barrett's out tonight? Okay, that's cool. That's cool. We don't need the defense for Luka. We don't play perimeter D. We get cooked every night. Luka will cost too much. Cuban will want to get us right. I agree, man. I'm just throwing stuff out there. You know what I'm saying? I'm just, I don't think that's gonna happen. I'm just saying when things come across your table, when deals come out the blue, you just say, yo, what? That's available? I didn't know that. In order to get Luka, you're gonna have to break. I agree. I agree with that, Kev. I just was using a name. That's why people don't know how good Brunson was. That's not true. Oh, Luka's ball dominant. I mean, yeah. Yeah, but so was Randall, man. All those guys who were scoring guys are ball dominant. You gotta learn how to play around that. I mean, Brunson remember Brunson wasn't starting. He had to develop, man. So he was coming off the bench for them. So but once he understood his role, look what he did in the playoffs. He's struggling to play with the team he has. Now imagine to broken up the Knicks team. No, I agree with you. I'm just saying. What I'm saying is a star like that, man. You don't let a guy like that walk. I mean, the Knicks were trying their damnedest to get Donovan Mitchell. They just couldn't. You know what I mean? So what I'm saying is that if a deal comes across your table, you're gonna try to make that happen. By year 2, Knicks fans will be screaming trade Luka. I see Knicks Twitter going off like, nah, yeah. That's a good point, man. I'm just saying that when you have a star that's available and you have potential to get him, a team's not going to wait. They're going to want to make that move, right? So that's what I'm saying. You know what I mean? Especially a guy of Luka's talent, they're going to try to make it work. You know what I mean? You don't get a guy like that with that skill set. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, those are dime a dozen, man. Oh, Francisco, what's going on, man? Appreciate you coming through, man. Thank you for coming through. Give IQ a contract with a center so it can get to where IQ wants. Oh, it can get to where IQ wants. Right? Agreed, man. Agreed. We can't let him go, man. We can't play around with him. We can't play no games. Because remember, guys, if anybody knows, prior to this, during the season same season, but when the Knicks were struggling, December, November, IQ's people, his representatives, were having issues with how the Knicks were using him, and there was speculation and allegedly there was rumors out there that IQ wanted out. You know what I'm saying? Because he wanted to be someplace where he could show his skills. He wasn't getting used the right way. Remember, there was issues going on before Tibbs went to this 9-player rotation, right? There was issues going on. So if they don't sign him, he's gone. He's not staying. He already proved his value this year. So the league is watching. He's out of here next year. Out of here, man. And he's getting paid big money. And he's going to go to a contender that's going to tell him that he's starting, like a Miami or something like that. You know what I'm saying? And I wouldn't even be surprised if someone like the Bucks give him big money and put him next to Drew Holiday and have them two defensive monsters in the backcourt. I'm telling you, you don't play. Do not play. Do not play because someone will give him big money. Nah, IQ ain't signing a incentive-based contract. That's playing with him. Hive IQ. IQ Hive, you mean? Money? Minutes and closing the game, and he'll be good. Right. I don't believe that. What don't you believe, Kev? He's going to want them guaranteed dollars, right? Those are just rumors. He's going after this year, so that money to quickly. D Rose is probably going to. No, Kev. No. What I'm saying is, they got to sign him. But what I'm saying is that when the Knicks were going through their problems, IQ's peoples were complaining. His representatives were complaining to the Knicks. That's a fact. That they didn't like how he was being used, and IQ was frustrated. The problems were going on when the Knicks were losing right around November, December, right before Tibbs made the change. Those issues were going on behind the scenes, man. That was really, really happening. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. So it got switched up. Now he's kind of developed. He's going to probably want to win in the 6th year. I think it's neck and neck with him and Brunson. Brogdon. How he closes out the season will really dictate him possibly winning the award. Right? So that's big. NBIC, I'm not trading RJ. Randall Fourier and picks for a superstar. Well, we got to see, man. We got to see because I'll tell you this much. You don't get rid of Randall for nothing, right? You keep him. He's an all-star. You got to give him that. But if you can get something better for him, you got to make that deal. You got to make that deal. I put it like this: everybody right here, right now, everybody. Would you trade Randall for Jalen Brown upright right now? Would you trade because you got superstar? Oh, not superstar. You got star and all-star. RJ's not on Jalen Brown's level, but Randall is. Would you trade Randall for Jalen Brown right now, right this second, if a phone call came through and you could make a trade before the playoffs? Would you do that deal? Everybody saying yes. NBIC, you're accurate about IQ scam. Yeah, they were complaining, man. They were complaining. Jay Supreme, pay the man. I don't care if they have to pay luxury tax. You got to. You got to keep the core together, man. It's like the Yankees, core 4, right? Knicks, core 4. Jay Supreme, absolutely. Yes. They're going to pay him $24 million, 22, 4 years. Okay, that's for IQ. Randall has high value, no empty stats. NBIC in a New York Minute. Okay. So anybody else? So you're making that deal, right? And I love Randall. I like what he brings to the table. I do. I mean, he's 6'10", he's 25 and 10. But you got to give up something to get. Oh, see, see what I tell you? It's Kev, what'd you say? Nah, I'm not making trades. I'm good. That's Randall Hive over there. I told you, dude, you go to his channel, you better be careful over there, man. You better be careful. I'm not trading for disgruntled players. See? There you go. So he doesn't trade Randall for Jalen Brown. See that? If that's not Randall Hive, man. Kev, I love Randall. I do. I get on him about him being the way some at times, but ain't no way I deny how good he is and what he's done this year. No, don't no Knicks high, baby. No. No, stop. But there's no way. I'm sorry. He's no Jalen Brown, boss. I'm honest with you, man. And Randall's good, but he does not defend. Jalen Brown defends, and he can give you 25 and 10. And he could give you 10 boards if he wants to, but he's giving you 25, and he defends. I'm just saying, if I could do that deal. I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm just saying. If I can do the deal straight up, Kev, I'm saying straight up, would you do that deal? You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. Brown is better all-around player, not a head case either. I like Randall, but I would make the trade every day. And look, I love Randall. He's gotten a lot better this year. He's gotten a lot better. His value is uber high right now. He's the man, period. Randall's been getting busy this year. I don't sleep on that. He changed the whole narrative on him. What happened last year. Brunson came and Randall looked like a beast. A beast. He's unguardable at that 4 spot. He can shoot the tray. He can rebound. He's strong in that Baja. He could be a bully at times. He's got that mid-range, right? He gets to the foul line. So Randall's tough. Jalen Brown's a little different. He's a little different. Not as big as Randall. He's about 6'7", 6'8". He's younger. He's younger than Randall. We're the same age. Let me look it up. He's 26. He's younger than Randall. He'll be 27 this year. Randall's 28. He's going to be 29 this year. He's 2 years younger than Randall. No, man. Look at Kev. He said, that's why you wait till Jalen Brown as a free agent. You can pair them together. Imagine that. Imagine Randall. See, I told you, he loves Randall. He can't see Randall go. Randall's older. Randall's going to be 29 this year. Jalen Brown's going to be 27. Kev. Kev can't get it out of his head of Randall leaving. All I'm saying, Kev, is would you do it? That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying I want to do it. I just like asking questions. You throw it out there to everybody. See what the energy of the crowd is. How they feel. That's all. And Kev says, nah, I'm not doing it. Randall stays here. He said, nah, man, it's more than just Randall, bro. Listen, Kev, okay, we'll go back. Because your emotions with Randall is clouding your vision. All I'm saying is just we do it straight up. Just asking a question. Would you do it straight up? If you don't have to pay or give up anything, would you trade Randall straight up for Jalen Brown? That's what I'm asking. The majority of the crowd says yes, because they think Jalen Brown's better than Randall. And he's younger. I think he's better than Randall too. I would do that. Not saying I don't like Randall and I don't want Randall here. If I could keep both of them, fabulous. But most of the times you can't. Most of the times you can't. So that's why you got to do a superstar for a superstar. That's why you do that. That's what I'm saying. Now, I get you, Kev. You wait to 2024, you can have both of them. Okay, cool. I'm saying right now, if you could do a deal and it's on your table and Boston says we want Randall, we'll give you Jalen Brown. Do you do that deal? And you say no, and then they call somebody else, like the Heat, or the Bucks, and they say we'll give you Jalen Brown for Chris Middleton, and you let Jalen Brown go to the Bucks? I'm just asking. I like to do this. I'm throwing it out there. And the Knicks got an opportunity to get Jalen Brown and swap him with Randall. You got to swap superstars. You got to swap stars. Remember, Middleton's an all-star. He's been there a couple of times. You swap stars. They play the same position. Jalen Brown plays the same position as Randall. I'm just saying. If it comes across your table, you make that deal. I said, I understand the money's got to match. I get all that. I'm not saying, let's say they work all that out. It's just conversation. Regular basketball conversation. That's all. That's why I ask these things. I like to throw it out just to see, just to get the temperature and see where everybody's feeling. Because we all say we want a superstar. That's all I'm saying. So we understand what we need and what we get. What I'm saying is that if we could do that, would you do it? That's all. And guys, let's be clear, man. And we got to identify. Randall's in the prime of his career right now. Prime of his career. So, he's got high upside. And I'm not going to say high upside. Let me not say that. He's right at his peak where he should be at 29 years old in the league. So he's going to probably be an all-star if he continues to play how he's playing for the next 5 years. Seriously. And then he might start tailing down, right? 5 years from now, what is that, 34? 34, right? So he's going to probably start tailing down after that. Look at Kev. Kev said, nope, not doing it. I told you. Told you that boy comes to Randall. Got to be easy with him. Be easy. He's got good content, guys. Go over there and check him out. Great content. Very passionate fan. Great content. But be careful when it comes to Randall. Don't do it. You heard it from LV. Trust me. Randall is a beast. It's when he goes up. Of course he's a beast. Come on, man. Randall's on. Listen, you have nobody for Randall. Randall. When Randall was on, he's unguardable because he's big. Listen. Jalen Brown's about 6'7", 6'8", maybe. Randall's about 6'9", 6'10". I still am standing next to iHeart. They're about the same size. So Randall's bigger than 6'8". That's just when he came out of high school and going to college, they had him at 6'9". So he's about 6'9", 6'10". He grew. So he's a legit 6'10". He's not 6'8". Right? Okay, man. Appreciate you, man. We gotta get ready for the game. If you leaving. If you out, Kev, I appreciate you coming by, man. We gotta get ready. So Randall's legit sick. He's 6'10", man. He's unguardable. That's why he be doing what he's doing to dudes. Because they can't check him. They can't. Because he's big. But his problem is sometimes he gets, the emotion gets the best of him. But when he's in check, when he's not going to let that folk, he's tough to guard, man. He's tough to guard. The Celtics' best team in the East, Knicks win that series 3-1 with no Jalen Brown. That's a good point. Oh, okay. I thought you was leaving. Sorry, man. It's his fighting with his teammates that are on his side. Lead, fight them, not us. Let them what? It's his fighting with his teammates that are on his side. Right. Yeah, I mean, listen, man, it's been a lot of things. I don't want to go down that, because whatever. We already know the issues with him. But what I'm saying is you can't deny how talented he is. Let's not do that. But what I'm saying is for a player of his caliber, you don't trade him for nothing. You don't trade him for peanuts. If he's gonna go, we got to get back somebody just as good, or if not better. Honestly, for me, we got to get back somebody better. If they're just as good as Randall, then keep Randall. See, here you go, Kev. Here you go, Kev. See, I told you. Teammates fight all the time, bro. See, he going in. It's Randall Hobb. He defending his boy. You gotta be careful. Told y'all. No, see, here you go, Patrick Ewing. Stop, Kev. Kev. Look, Kev. Everybody, let's stop with this Randall stuff. Because Kev's gonna go in. Kev, we cannot compare Randall to Patrick Ewing. Patrick Ewing is a perennial all-star and had the juice to do that. That's my only thing with people comparing that. Like, I don't like that. Like, Randall do it because Randall do it. Like, Ewing was different, man. Ewing's a perennial all-star. He's a Hall of Famer. He's an all-time great. Him doing it, Jordan doing it, like those guys are different, man. Like I can't really put that. I don't want to put Randall in that category. Randall do it because Randall do it. Like, that's just Randall. You know what I mean? He identifies that too. That he needs to get better with it. And that's that. I don't. I just think we gotta kind of be careful with that. You know what I'm saying? Because you can't. Those different guys, man. Those guys are NBA. Come on, man. They're Hall of Famers, man. They're all-time greats, man. All-time greats. Patrick Ewing was a legend in college, and he's a legend in the league. Like, it's really no comparison. How do you feel about the Cavs versus the Knicks? Oh, Corey Lindsay, what's going on, Corey? Appreciate you coming by. If you have not subscribed, please subscribe. Corey, how I feel about the Knicks? I think it's going to go 6, but I would not be surprised. This is a leap. I would not be surprised if the Knicks knock them out in 5. I would not be surprised by that because it's the matchups. We have a lot of things that they don't. They only have really 2 guys that can really do it all by themselves. They got Garland and they got Spider. Outside of that, they don't really have anybody else that can really create their own shot. They got guys that somewhat can, maybe LeVert, but it's not the same. We got quite a few guys that could do that, and we got guys that can defend. So they got guys that can defend. We got guys too. So I think that's where we proved it Friday night without Randall. Even though they was down Jared Allen and Okoro, it doesn't matter. Those guys aren't giving you 25-10. Like, that's not happening. And even them combined is not giving you 25-10. So Jared Allen's not big on points. He's big on defense. And Okoro's the same thing. He can knock down shots. But those guys aren't every month. Talking about night after night. Randall, you book it. 25-10, 25-10. That's what he's giving you. That's a big chunk missing from what we do, right? So we smoked them by 15 at Cleveland. So it's just, and I think that it's just matchups. They have nobody for IQ coming off the bench. They have no bench. They have nobody for Josh Hart. So when that second unit comes in with IQ, Josh Hart, RJ, Obi, and iHart, and if you want to dab in Deuce from here and there, that's where we took off on. We took off like a rocket and blew them out the gym. He had to get Donovan Mitchell like, yo, we need you back. We need you back ASAP. Because they had nobody else that could create. You know what I'm saying? And then defensively, we match it well with their guards. Because that's what it is. With Donovan Mitchell, you got to throw a lot of guards at him. So he sees different guards. He sees sometimes Jalen Brunson. He sees sometimes IQ. He sees sometimes Grimes. Then he sees sometimes Josh Hart. Then sometimes RJ. So you got 5 guys who they throw at Donovan Mitchell to give him problems. So that's a lot to see for him. And so that's why later you saw him kind of missing shots. He was kind of off. He was struggling because he had different people on him. You know, when you're an offensive guy like that, you got to make different decisions. And Josh Hart is a load to deal with. Josh Hart is bigger than him. He's 6'5" and just as compact, just as strong as Donovan Mitchell. So that puts a lot of pressure on Donovan Mitchell. Then you get him out of there, then you put Grimes on, right? So that's a lot, man. And then he got to play defense on Brunson that was cooking him, right? So now you're taking all the energy out of him. So now where else do they get scoring from if Donovan Mitchell cools down? LeVert, you saw what LeVert was doing. LeVert hasn't been killing us all year. We've been solving that. And then when Randall comes back, who do they have for Randall? They have nobody for Randall. Nobody. So I just think it's matchups. So I would not be surprised we win in 5. But I just to be honest, I do see 6. I don't see it going 7. I just don't. It doesn't make it right no matter who it is. Nah, agreed, Kev. You're right. Atlantic Lion. Damn, you have been been for 3 hours, and now I'm just hopping. Yeah, man, I've been rocking. I've been rocking for 3 hours, man. People been hopping in, man. We just talking. You know what I'm saying? Just talking, burning the time, because so much that time for game time. So we just been rocking, man. Just talking. I love people coming on, just chopping it up, giving their insight, man. So it's been fun. I'm glad you came by, Atlantic Lion. Hope all is well. Happy Sunday to you, man. Long time listener, so I thank you for coming by, man. So it's gonna be very interesting, man. It really truly is. But I will say this, guys. I love what we're building. I do. I said that earlier, but I'm gonna say it again. Our core pieces, they're all homegrown. The guys that we have playing, the guys that we drafted, they're all playing, and they're playing at a high level. People smash RJ. RJ's averaging 19 and a half, almost 20 points a game this year on a bum knee and just not his full self. You can tell something's wrong with RJ. He's just not playing well this year, just being honest. But he's still averaging 19 and a half and 20 points a game, right? Obi still has a lot of upside, but we still love Obi. He's great coming off the bench. He's solid. IQ is playing out of his mind. He's going to be sixth man a year. And Grimes is on, he's a sophomore all-star. He's on the rise, right? So our homegrown guys are playing well for us, man. And those are guys that we drafted. Oh, and then if you want to throw in Deuce, you can. Because Deuce has also played well this year. He's got to learn. He's got to get better offensively, but he's had his moments this year where he's flashed to where you said, I like what we're doing here with Deuce. So you got to think those 5 guys, those are guys we draft. Oh, I'm bugging out. 6, Big Mitch. We gave him a big deal, right? So we got 6 guys that we drafted that are playing for us and playing at a high level. And those are our guys, homegrown guys. And that's what people have been asking for all last year. Play the young guys. Play the young guys. Play the young guys. Give them a lot of minutes. And he is. And look how well they're playing. So I love what we're building, man. I love what we're building. Even if we don't make it to the Eastern Conference Finals, oh, man, we have so much upside and so much to look forward to. As a Knicks fan, you got to be excited. You got to be excited what the future holds. You have to be. And I'm telling you right now, we are one piece away. See, a lot of people in here have been saying to wait 2025. I'm cool with that. But I'm just saying that I wouldn't be surprised if the Knicks see a deal, because they're not going to let another Donovan Mitchell deal get away from them. Then that's not going to happen. They're not going to allow that. They're not, because they got a lot of heat for that. Now, even though it came back that it worked out, still that was shaky. It was on shaky ground, man. In December, man, what were we 10 and 14? We were on shaky ground with that. So I'm glad that we were able to kind of, hold steady. But if a deal like that comes across the table again, the Knicks not going to flinch, man. They're going to make that happen. They're going to let go of those picks. You know what I mean? Because a lot of teams don't want players. If they get a player, great, but they really want the picks. So I wouldn't be surprised if you give up an Obi, or a Fourier and some picks to get an OG Anunoby. I wouldn't be surprised by that, because a lot of teams want picks. You understand what I'm saying? So if we could do that, you know what I mean? Cool. But I'm just saying, Okay. Kev said, keep our kids together. Agreed. Could last year's leg injury to RJ be the reason why he ain't the same plus? Listen, I said that earlier, Francisco. He hurt his knee last year. He tweaked it. And he sat down the rest of the games. I'm telling you, I think there's something wrong with him. And he didn't get it checked this year because he didn't want to not get signed because he was injured, because that might have had an impact on his contract. So I think he played it off like he's cool and just rehabbed or whatever. But I think his knee is a lot more, he's not being honest about it. I'm just seeing a different guy. And you're right. And he's gained weight too. Like you can see it. 3-1 without Donovan Mitchell. Kev, what do you mean 3-1? You mean in the series with the Cavs? Or 3-1? What do you mean 3-1 without Donovan Mitchell? I'm just saying. Okay. IQ and Grimes are the two I'm not letting go of. Yeah, man. Yeah, yeah. Those are homegrown guys, man. You gotta. Yeah, not the same. Yeah, he's not the same. I'm telling. I said that earlier. I'm telling you. I'll give RJ the benefit of the doubt. Maybe he'll bounce back. I listen. Listen. Let me tell you something. If the Knicks gave Randall the benefit of the doubt, they're gonna give RJ benefit of the doubt. They just signed the kid last this summer, man. Last summer they just signed the kid for 100. They gave him the bag. You think they're just gonna ship him off? I don't think that'll happen, man. The only way they're shipping him off is if something comes across the table that blows their socks off, and they just say, "All right, we got to pull this off." I'm just saying, and I'm talking stratosphere deal. I'm talking like Devin Booker type of deal. I'm talking something like that. That's the only way RJ's going. RJ's not. They just gave him the bag. They just gave him 100 million. There's no way they're letting him walk. Not the same. 3-1 without Devin versus the Cavs this year. Yeah. You're saying we beat them right without Donovan Mitchell. Oh, okay, I see what you're saying, Kev. Yeah, man. I mean, listen, I agree. You know what I mean? But I do think that the pressure was still, the pressure was still on, man, when they didn't make that deal. So the Knicks were kind of like in a crazy, crazy place. And how they were looking in December, everyone was killing them. Like, yo, you should have made the deal. You should have did this. You're keeping Grimes. The Knicks is trash, remember? And then Tibbs switched that lineup up, and that changed everything. They won 8 in a row, and everyone was happy in paradise. And they've been good ever since. If we prevent Spider from getting out of the first round, just deserves 16-game player. Just deserves 16-game player. I don't know what you mean by that. Sorry. Corey Lindsey. They need to re-sign Josh Hart. Oh, they will. They will. Tibbs, number one, he wants to be here. So, that's cool when a player wants to be someplace, right? He's here with his boys, right? His Villanova boys. Mikal Bridges is going to get a big deal from Brooklyn. Of course, Brunson is here in New York, so he's here. He's got his family, right? So he's not going anywhere. Tibbs is going to make sure they re-sign him because Tibbs has wanted him for a long time. So they got him, and they seen the production with him. So he's not going anywhere. He's not going anywhere. They're going to lock him in. Simply, you can't lock up Spider like that. So you got to do is lock up the boys on the outside. Lock up all the shooters like Garland, LeVert, and whoever else they have on the perimeter. No, I agree. Spider's going to get his. He's going to get his. But you just, like I said, you got to throw a lot of guys at him. You got to tire him out. And then you tire him out on defense, too. You saw Brunson was cooking him. You thought they was back in the playoffs last year. You thought they was back in the playoffs. Brunson was cooking him. He couldn't do nothing with him. Nothing. So I'm not worried about Spider. Once again, it's all about matchups, guys. That's the key. That's the key. I was so happy that we didn't make that deal. Yeah, man, they wanted a lot. They wanted a lot from Mitchell. You're right, Kev. I wasn't for the deal either, man. I'll be honest. I wasn't one of those guys. The way Donovan Mitchell started off playing this year and how the Knicks were playing, it made you question it a bit. I'll be honest with you. But when the deal came across the table, I was like, that's too much. That's too much. They want because they was talking about IQ in that deal too, man. I was like, no way. They wanted too much. Right? They need to resign Iheart. They just signed Iheart too, man. They're gonna resign him, but remember, they just signed him, man. They just got him from he's a free agent. They just got him from the Clippers. So they gave him what did they give him? 3 years. They gave him 3 years. Let me get his contract. Oh, they gave him 2 years, 16 million. They gave him 2 years, 16 million. They're gonna re-sign him for that. They're gonna re-sign him. Remember, guys, also too, like I said to you before, right? Corey, who's from Rochester? iHeart? Oh, he's from Germany. Who's from Rochester? Oh, he said he's from Rochester. Oh, you said you're from Rochester. Okay, you from the Rock up there? I got peoples up there, man. People's from Syracuse. Oh, okay, you from up there? Okay, I got people from up there. Went to Syracuse. Our family used to live up in Watertown, Buffalo. You can't sleep on a rock, man. Y'all get it popping up there too, man. I went up there like, yo, man, it's different, man. It's different. I don't sleep up there, man. Y'all get it popping. It's cold too. It's too cold up there, man. It's like you in Antarctica up there, man. It's too cold. It's cool up there though. Yeah, they get it in up there. They get it in. They get on it popping up there, boy. Don't play with them. And Corey, man, they talk like they from the Midwest, man, like them from Ohio. Like they talk weird. When up there, I was talking to him. I was like, "Yo, man, where you from? Where you from? You from yeah, I'm they got some accents up there, man. Like they're from the Midwest. Yeah, the Rock, they get it popping up there. Remember too, guys, our heart too. They got him 2 years, 16 million, right? But remember, iHeart, he's only 24 years old, man. He's only 24. The Knicks got to lock him in, man. Because someone's going to say, yo, you see iHeart over there? Because some team's going to want him. He's not good enough to start. He's good enough to come off the bench. But you got to pay him. He's not going to start anyway. He's not a starter. But he's solid, though, man. He's solid. Yeah, they wanted 3 unprotected. Yeah, it was a crazy deal, Kev. It was crazy. That's why I was like, nah, I'm not doing it. And they wanted Greg Grimes, IQ. They wanted everything. iHeart's improvement over the season needs to be recognized. Absolutely, man. He is playing hard, getting boards, and Atlantic Lion. If you notice, that's why Tibbs closes the game with him, man, because of what he brings. What he brings. He gives a dimension to that offense and to that defense that Mitch doesn't bring. And I love Mitch, but Mitch is not as good as a passer as iHeart. Believe it or not, iHeart's play is upping Mitch's play. Mitch is playing a little bit more aggressive now, believe it or not, because of how iHeart is playing. So that's the key, guys. We're great teams, and I've been on them. You up the level of everybody's play because everybody wants to play. Everybody wants to get in. So if you know this cat on the bench is playing hard, you're like, yo, I gotta up it, man, because if not, he coming in for me ASAP, and he's finishing games. I'm not able to get on the court because this cat is playing so well. The coach can't sub him out. The team is rolling. So why would you sub him and mess up the chemistry if you guys are winning? And that's what Tibbs has been doing. And iHeart has been a monster. Listen, to me, he was the second best player Friday night. Boss, did you see him in that Baja, the way he was blocking shots? And he was snatching away rebounds from Mobley. He was like, man, give me that. He was trying to come in there with that Baja, with that weak stuff. He was like, man, get that out of here, man. You grown men down here in that Baja, man. You crazy? He be getting in there, man. And that's what you want. You want that tenacity. And he's snatching rebounds. And he's hitting that bounce, pouncing. Coming down, dudes coming through. Yeah, banging it. Boss, you can't sub him out. You bugging, they get refs, coach him like, nah, I gotta keep him in. The energy goes up with the team when he's in there. The energy goes up. So you gotta play to that. And guys, us as Knicks fans, that's what we've been saying. We've been saying, like, yo, keep those guys in. They're rolling. They're rolling. You gotta go with the hot hand. We try and get W's, man. So I don't care who's winning. I was fine with the Donovan Mitchell. Ashley said, I'm fine to get Donovan, but not for the Mitchell ass. But I also last year was happy with running the same team again, right? Evan Even with Brunson, excuse me, although I am ecstatic JB is here. Yeah, absolutely. We have him for another year. We good. Yeah, absolutely. Once we're done with that, Kev, we got to sign him. We got to lock him in. He's essential for that bench unit, especially with Mitch and Mitch's injury history. You got to have somebody there to back him up. Because remember, when Mitch went out, we didn't skip a beat. When Mitch was down, when Ironheart came in, we didn't skip a beat, and it actually helped Sims develop. Facts. I got to give it up to Ironheart. He's played well over the last few months. He has big time. He's believe it or not, guys, he's kind of outplayed his contract. Sleeper signing last year, absolutely. The niggas, the two biggest Knicks signings to me, outside of Brunson, we know that, is Ironheart. To me, it's not re-signing Mitch. It's getting Ironheart, and it's getting Josh Hart. Those two big deals changed everything for the Knicks. You got to think what those two guys are doing for this team off the bench. The production is that I think their pluses are crazy. They're like a plus 20 something. It's just out of control, man, what they're doing. I'm telling you. Okay. Yeah, that was crazy. Yeah, absolutely, it was crazy. I was there, yo. He's cooking up on TV. Yeah, Atlantic Line. I saw you was there in Cleveland, man. I give him credit for destroying the Cavs' momentum and securing the W. Yeah, man. Yo, Atlantic Line. How was the energy in the building when Brunson was going off? I know they were like, this kid ain't no joke. Corey Lindsay, what do you think about Deuce McBride? I love Deuce, but Deuce's problem, and this is why he can't get on the court. You got to score. You got to score the ball. That jumper has got to be war, because you're not big. He's only 6'1", 6'2". Maybe he's about 6'1". I don't even think he's 6'2". So when he's small like that, that jump shot's got to be cash money, man. Cash money, because he's not big. So you got to be able to knock it down from deep. You got to be able to shoot that pill. He can lock in defensively, but he's not big enough to take it to the hole. Like, he can, but that can't be his game. He's got to be able to knock down that jump shot. So when they swing the ball and he's open, he's got to be able to knock that down. And he struggled with that. So that's something, to me, Deuce has got to develop. Defensively, we know he's there. He's got to develop with that jump shot, because then he could force his way into the lineup to where Tibbs might have to say, all right, I'm going to have to cut somebody's minutes. And I'm going to have to give some to Deuce. I'm going to have to do that, right? So that's what I think about Deuce. But he's got to develop, man. That's it. Because this is Deuce's second year, right, guys? His second year. He's only year 2, man. So you got to let him develop. Let him develop. Remember, he's not a high recruit, man. He wasn't a 5-star recruit coming out of high school. He went to West Virginia, man. He's a lunch pail guy. But if he could develop an offensive shot, that 3 ball's got to be his friend. He got to be taking that all summer. And if he comes back knocking that down and playing defense, he's going to get a lot of minutes. A lot of minutes. Because Tibbs loves that. Tibbs is going to play him. And I wouldn't be surprised if RJ's minutes drop. Obi may not be getting no minutes because what Deuce is bringing to the table. Tibbs loves him, man. He loves him. I love the Ironheart signing. He's definitely challenging Mitchell to get better, right? Absolutely. Mitch has he has no question. He's got to work on his game, because if not, he's not playing. They was booing Brunson, and he shut him up. Word up. Don't boo my man Brunson. Yeah, Brunson was getting busy, man. He was getting busy, man, but I'm not surprised. Deuce gives Marcus Smart vibes. Yeah, he does, Kev. He's just not as big as Smart, man. Smart is big. He's like 6'5", man. So he can take that pounding and defend and rebound. Deuce isn't that big. That's why he's got to knock down that shot. Marcus Smart has been able to do well in this league because he could defend, and he's a big guard, great leader, right? He changes dip points of the game. He's like a Josh Hart 2.0 because he could score better. So Deuce isn't that big. So that's why that three, that's why a perfect example, right? You see Dame Dollar, right? That's the key to his game because he can shoot from the parking lot. So you got to guard him baseline to baseline. If you can't and you leave him open, he's going to make you pay. He's going to make you pay bad. And it doesn't matter if you got him at the foul line or if you got to be in his chest. Because if not, he's going to knock that jumper. And he, of course, he got hops. He could dunk it. Dame Dollar. Deuce got hops too. But he got that jumper, man. That jumper changes the whole ball game. It changes everything. So that's what he needs. Deuce is going to be okay. I think he's just like Grimes. With more minutes, he'll start knocking down them shots because he can shoot. Yeah, he's just inconsistent, man. Second year and first year getting some minutes. Agree, Jay Supreme. He's just got, that's all. Line to line, McBride, right. When Deuce played football, what position, football mentality? What was he? I think he was a quarterback. He was a quarterback or he was like a DB. I know he played like defense and quick quarterback. So I think he was quarterback. I think he was a quarterback and played defense and played like DB or safety, something like that, I think. I love Deuce. I love what he brings. And to me, I love the fact that he's homegrown, right? So I love that about him. He's got to get that jump shot, man. He's got to get that jump shot. Right. He has time. But Kev, he's got to develop it this summer. He's got to be a gym rat. He's got to be playing open runs, and he's got to be working with a trainer. He's got to eat, sleep in the gym. That's what he's got to do. That's the only way you're going to get better in this league. You got to make basketball your girlfriend, man. You got to. You got to cut off them shorties. I know he got a little shorty too. I seen it a couple months ago. He got a picture with her. I said, "Oh, look at Deuce, man. Deuce smacking out here in the streets, man. He's smacking with a shorty." But he got to tell her, yo, the summer's a wrap. We can't go to Italy. We can't go to San Tropez. We can't go to Hawaii. Can't go to Bora Bora. I got chill. I'm gonna holler at you when the summer's over. That's what's got to happen. Deuce has to stop hesitating and trust his shot. He was lighting it up in the G League. Yeah, I know, man, but the G League is different than the NBA, man. But he'll be fine. He'll be fine. He's just got to develop. He's only in the second year, man. I don't think, like, you guys got to understand, man. These guys are exceptional basketball players. You guys see guys making shots. You guys think it's so hard, man. It's so hard. And then you got to understand the type of competition that you're playing against night in and night out. You don't get any rest. You don't get a breath. You can't come up for air because you're coming against top-tier guys night in, night out. Perfect example. If you're a guard, right? If you're a guard, look at the matchups that you had. Wednesday night, you had Jimmy Butler, Tyler Hero. Friday night, you had Gardner and Spider Mitchell. Today, you got Bradley Beal. Now, he's out, but I'm just saying, that's the matchups night in and night out. Who the Knicks got next? And then they had the Rockets the other day. They had Jalen Green. He's an up-and-coming star. You see, right? So they got Wednesday, they got the Pacers, right? They got Tyrese Halliburton, right? Then you got the Pelicans, right? You have what's the name? CJ, right? You got him. Then you got the Pacers again. You got Halliburton. So the league is no joke, man. You don't get a breath. So you got to be ready to go every night. It does not matter. You're not playing bums. So that's why it's important to develop your game because you do not get a break, especially at the guard position. It's on 0 to 60 every game. So you got to be ready to go. You're not playing no bums. So it takes some guys longer to develop than others. That's just a fact. Knicks came a long way, bro. Yep. Leon, WWW, and them boys are killing it. Right. We need the Mavs to stay right at 11. Yo, man, we do, man. Because then they'll get them deals for nothing. So we can get that pick. I know, man. They probably tanked on purpose. Right. The Browns be checking their bets. So every night, man, it's come on, man. It's no joke. It's no joke. I agree. He just needs the minutes so he can get his rhythm. He's not playing consistent minutes. So dudes can't hop off the bench cold and light it up like a Lou Williams or Jamal Crawford. Agreed. Agreed. All right, listen, people. It's been beautiful. It's 5 o'clock. Let's get ready for this game. I'm gonna come back. We'll wrap up. Pause. Harlem, man. I'm sorry, my fault. I'm gonna come back with a post-game breakdown. Right? So let me get up out of here. Yo, man, 3 hours we've been rocking. I appreciate you guys coming on, chopping it up with me. Big shouts to Kev. Everybody go over there and subscribe to his channel. Good dude. Let's get this W tonight. Remember, guys, we get this win, we're in. We get this win. One game. That's all we need. One game, we're good. All right? But I'm going to give the post-game breakdown. Appreciate you guys coming through. Let's go, Knicks. Let's get ready. Let's secure this 5th seed. All right? I'm LB Live, and I'm out, peaceful. Much love. Peace.